Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's our wrestling podcast, Getting Over. Host Paul Williams and Stuart Woodmansey are reviewing the last pay-per-view that we talked about and that we predicted, which was the Fastlane pay-per-view. And as is mentioned, all roads lead to Wrestlemania. And we've come to the end of that road because it's now time for Wrestlemania. So check out our predictions. We've got Matthew Moore on the phone and special guest predictions as well. So check this one out. This is Cookiecast Presents Getting Over.
No. Wee.
Nobody died.
He's good.
That was the main thing.
He's nailed the dismount.
The stick still landed.
9.2, 9.6, 9.4.
7.5?
Mother.
Ooh, that is good. Oh, that really is good. What was it yours? Won't be as good as ours. Because not only is it a pretentious vanilla-based beverage, it's a pretentious coconut and vanilla-based beverage. But it's
Cheers.
Is it coconut syrup?
It's coconut milk.
Coconut milk. Vanilla
Somebody has
latte.
been hard at work milking those coconuts. So.
Well, that killed it.
Yes. Yeah,
Conversation sniper.
Welcome to the, I want to say third annual.
Third annual.
Definitely not third annual. Third instalment of. You can't see the rock for the Stone Cold.
Cookiecast Presents
Getting Over.
Getting Over. And I can safely say that in the world of podcasting, it's definitely getting over.
It's very, very good to hear. Thank you. Thank you, people that listen.
Very highly rated.
I don't know if you happened to see a little exchange of mine on the old FB yesterday. We had an interaction with a listener, so we're giving him a shout out nice and early. Mr. Gareth Appleton, thank you for listening along. And not only has Gaz been listening, but we have liaised and we have guest predictions that have already been put in for the WrestleMania matches.
Motherfucker!
Wow. So, anybody else wants to chip in, get involved, leave us a little comment, send us a message on Twitter.
Level.
Get it done.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, it's taken on a world and a mind of it all.
So yeah, nice early shout out for Gaz and thanks for sending your predictions in. We will get to the predictions.
We absolutely will.
This is what we're here for. So this week we are very briefly going to look at the predictions for the last pay-per-view, Fastlane, see how we all got on. Prediction, well no, it's spoiler, not a prediction, that Paul didn't win. Yes.
Boo!
Then we'll get into a bit of NXT TakeOver New York. Slightly confused as to why it's not TakeOver Brooklyn, because it's in the same place that TakeOver Brooklyn has happened.
Yeah.
But it's TakeOver New York. And then to the what can only be described as the marathon edition of WrestleMania 35, emanating from MetLife Stadium.
So just so you're aware,
8 hours.
Not too far off. So it's a 2-hour pre-show.
Okay.
And then a minimum 5.5 hour card. There are 15 total matches.
Yep, because 14 wasn't enough at the end of Raw last night. So on Monday night even. So they had to then add another match on SmackDown.
Oh, and so there's 15 matches. Still not all of the titles are being defended. They've managed to miss the Raw Tag Team Championships off the card.
Which is bizarre.
Unbelievable.
Very bizarre.
So you'd imagine it'll get added at some point.
It's looking like we will also have our guest caller back this evening.
Well.
Mr. Matthew Moore.
Really?
So we can get that set
Oh my
up.
God, he's going to be dialing in live to the podcast.
Live
It's
to
not
the
going to mean
podcast.
anything to you listening now because it'll just be like he's just been a part of it all
This happened a few days ago, a couple days ago. Anyway, yeah, so we will have Mr. Moore back on. Obviously, he's been missing for the last couple. So yeah, we will have the squad back at full strength.
Full strength squad, unlike a certain football team that we just don't need to get into.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be a good addition.
I've definitely not done enough ranting about that set of shit fucking bastards.
Anyway, shall we? Whilst Mr. Moore is getting dialed in, should we talk about the Fastlane predictions?
If we have to. I've already seen something I don't want to see.
So yeah, we went through and we picked. If you haven't heard it, feel free to go back and listen to it. But to be fair, if you've not watched Fastlane by this point, this close to WrestleMania, what are you even doing?
What are you doing with your lives?
So
maybe what they've tried to do is leave all of the pay-per-views and the specials and stuff to try and literally do 24 hours of wrestling.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be awake for all that. So before the pay-per-view, even we get to the predictions. Some of the matches were actually changed on the fly on the night.
I saw something about that.
And that kind of threw a little spanner in the works. So the way I've done our scoring is the matches that remained the same to a point, I've just scored it on that. The match that was added was as Kofi Kingston versus The Bar as a handicap match, and Kofi just got annihilated. Elias managed a 3-song set across the night, which is unheard of for Elias.
I'd love to know what's going on with him at the minute. But
yeah, well, he's headlining the musical act of WrestleMania, so he's technically headlining WrestleMania is how they've built that so far. We'll see what happens. I think he'll probably get filled in at some point. We might even get the possible John Cena Elias match added last minute.
Oh, please don't know.
Possibly.
So that'll be 16.
I definitely think there's more to come, but we'll get to that. So, the Raw tag match that we had, the women's tag match that we had, the SmackDown Live tag match that we had, The Shield versus Corbin, Lashley and McIntyre, Becky versus Charlotte, where the winner entered the main event at WrestleMania, the WWE title match, Mysterio versus Andrade was the one that we lost on the kickoff. That was then changed to a 4-way for the US title, so those ones we haven't included in the scoring. The SmackDown Women's title match, and then the New Day versus Nakamura and Rusev from the kickoff show. I don't even think we covered that on the last pod, because it was announced afterwards, so I texted around the guys and we did get some predictions in for that one. So, out of a possible 8 points, how many do you think you got, Paul? Do you want to read it off that page?
I think I got 5.
You did get 5. Andy got 3. Mr. Moore had submitted his predictions ahead of time, and I'm very pleased to say that of the 8 possible points, both myself and Mr. Moore got all 8 right. Which, true to form,
Well done.
definitely didn't put an accumulator on. Definitely should have.
You can't anymore, can you?
I don't know.
Sky Bet don't allow you to put accumulators on for the wrestling for some reason.
Because it's not real.
If you drew, then that obviously means that you then have to fight for who? Tables.
Is that the tiebreaker?
Yeah, tables, ladders, chairs. Man.
Obviously.
Well, we are
Barbed wire still
we
king.
are seeing him to watch WrestleMania, so you know there could be that 16th match added. It'll just be me versus Matt.
Oh, can you imagine? The absolute top level banter.
Are you ready for this now?
Yes, I will just search a video.
So the matches that actually happened at Fastlane, I think probably we should talk about the WWE title match very briefly.
Battery medium.
There we go. It's living on the edge with a medium battery.
Oh, this could be hilarious.
Connected to iPhone.
There you go.
That's me. That's this right here.
You've not named your iPhone.
So yeah, I was saying about the WWE title match, which was Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan. I did still score this one, even though it was changed to a triple threat by adding the now mentioned Ali, previously known as Mustafa Ali. I thought it was a good match. Enjoyed it. pleased that Daniel Bryan won. Mainly because he keeps his lovely, lovely wooden belt that I really like.
You really do like that,
Still
don't you?
not on the shop for me to buy. Sad times.
Right.
Are we getting Mr. Moore?
I believe so. Hang on. Oh, hello?
Hang on. Are we there?
Hang on.
Technical issues.
Stick with us.
Are you connected to this?
People aren't ready, come on.
Yes!
We're not ready for you. We just can't handle it more. We just can't handle it, Mr. Moore. Is he there? Can you hear us?
Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
I'm here.
You are live on the podcast. Please do not say.
Yeah, those.
Fuck shit or bugger.
Yeah,
fuck
that's
all
pretty
bugger.
much.
Oh no.
Matt, you've
90% all I of my vocabulary.
you've just missed out on the fact that I've revealed that myself and your good self scored maximum points on the predictions for Fastlane. So well done to you, sir.
Oh, get in.
Out of a possible 8 points, you did get all 8, so that was very good. We shall now move on from Fastlane.
Ugh, thank God for that.
I knew you'd enjoy that bit, Paul.
I was going to say, I would have been able to contribute nothing to that, because I'm like, no, didn't see it.
Didn't see it, but scored full points.
And I have just said, if you haven't watched Fastlane at this point before WrestleMania, what have you been doing? There is the example, ladies and gentlemen.
Dear.
Huge big battle. Huge big battle all the way.
Is that the thing with the pandas in it and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, we could do a whole other podcast on Super Strong Style 16 and Kaiju Big Battle. One to
So I'm
be
assuming
enjoyed.
you will be totally lost at that point. I mean, I'm fairly lost.
So,
This thing called Keiju Big Battle.
So, at the end...
Kaiju.
Hang on.
Does-
Well, it does a little bit.
It's prompt some interest.
Big monsters.
Ah.
At the
Wrestling ring.
at the beginning of May, me and Mr. Moore are heading down to the Big Smoke to see Super Strong Style 16 May Bank Holiday weekend, and on the Saturday night they're presenting the Kaiju Big Battle live. So we're going to essentially watch the wrestlers dress up as monsters and get absolutely smashed around. So it should be quite good fun.
It's exceptional.
It'll be something different. So it's certainly something different to what you're going to see this weekend.
Pretty much.
I'm just wondering.
Oh, yeah.
Stu, in the arm of that sofa, there will be a control panel.
Yep.
At the very top, above the buttons, there'll be a USB port.
There's one here. I can unplug the...
Well, I'm just thinking it could sit
Okay.
on the windowsill.
Yeah.
Ah.
Cool.
So, it, in theory, should go that way up. And then that can just sit on the windowsill. And that way, it'll charge. And it'll be good position for...
Right.
Good
Are you
sound.
still there, Matthew?
That sounds good to me.
I'm still here, yeah.
He's still here. He's still
Good
there.
man. And just say something of importance so we can check the levels.
Something of importance.
Yes.
We've got it.
Excellent.
Excellent
It
stuff.
registered on the Richter scale, so...
You're at full volume, I presume.
Yeah, I've cranked that as high as it'll go.
Right, well.
Right, cool. So we, like I say, squad back at full strength. So the first event of the weekend, NXT Takeover New York. For Paul's benefit, as always, 5th of April from the Barclays Centre, Brooklyn. And
what's the weather going to be like?
I don't know what the weather's going
It's
to be
indoors,
like,
Andrew, so it doesn't matter.
but I can tell you that it starts at 7 PM Eastern Time.
That's 12 o'clock midnight.
The boy can math. On the card this time around, we've got a 2 out of 3 falls match for the vacant NXT Championship.
Yeah, that'll be terrible. Shake's head.
Johnny
It'll be the best
Gargano.
match of the weekend, probably.
I'm hoping
Breeze past that, don't want to, let's not talk about that. It's just terrible, you know, it's not going to be worth watching. Just let's dedicate the whole podcast to that.
when I mention the names of the participants, I'm hoping Matt is going to chime in with something here. So we've got Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole.
Baby.
There we go. There's both of them. The NXT Women's Title is a 4-way match: Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane versus Io Shirai versus Bianca Belair. The NXT North American Title, the Velveteen Dream versus the original bro, Matt Riddle. NXT Tag Titles, the War Raiders versus the winners of the Dusty Tag Team Classic, which was Ricochet and Aleister Black. Apologies if you've not actually watched that yet, but again, catch up.
At this point, you're
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
shit out.
Spoilers.
You shit or bust.
And added to the card as well, we also have in fact, this thing right here, although the real life version of it, the WWE UK title match. That's like out of graphic for you. There you go, people.
Zoom it right in.
There you go. If you're listening along, have a quick skeg at YouTube. There we go. Which is Pete Dunne versus Volta.
Now this is the thing. Is it Volta or is it Walter?
It's Volta.
Volta.
So why is that?
Because have you ever done GCSE German?
Toss it.
So yeah.
Yeah, I did actually. And I got an A. So fuck you.
So why are you asking me that question then?
Because I obviously didn't carry it on, because I'm a ball bag.
Well, there you go, people. That's the admission right on air. So we've got. We'll do it in reverse order to what I announced it. So let's talk about Pete Dunne and Volta first. Pete Dunne has held the title since the 20th of May last year.
2017.
Sorry, which is over 680 days at this point. Do we think he's going to have it past the weekend?
Do you want to know what Skybet thinks?
No, I don't. I don't really care what Skybet think.
Oh.
I don't want to look at the odds because I don't want it to have any influence on my decision.
I'll just go back off that.
Sorry, Paul. Matt, what do you think? Do you think Pete Dunne's walking away with it or not?
I was talking about this with James the other day, and I say part of me thinks they're going to hand it to Volta because he's a big free agent kind of guy, and it's been a while that they, something that he said he wasn't going to go to WWE, now he's there, and all this kind of thing. And then I was like, but it seems a real shame that you've got someone who's been champion for 600, nearly 700 days now. You're like, yeah, new guys here, you can do one. Unless they're going to put Pete Dunne into NXT, NXT as opposed to NXT UK.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That was my thought behind it, in the sense of because he's had it for so long. I genuinely think it's the biggest threat he's had to the title, so I do think he will probably lose. Volta is a big dude, which, from what I've kind of heard as well, splits opinion somewhat, because some people think, he's an absolute beast, the people that have seen the damage that he does, but then other people think, well, he's just a big chop and he's not really got much else. So I think he's kind of got a little bit to prove to the people that maybe haven't seen so much of him on the indies. I was
going to say, because obviously we've seen him a few times on the indies, and he's not a big show, or even dare I say, a Braun Strowman kind of thing. He can actually wrestle, he can move, he's pretty sharp around things, and he does sell things well. He looks like at times he can be hurt and stuff like that.
I think that he's got to showcase that in NXT UK, because at the moment he's just had stare downs. Really, he's not really done too much in the way of wrestling, so I think he's got something to prove. But by giving him the title, I think that puts the spotlight straight on him, because they've got this guy who's been champion, as Matt said, for nearly 700 days now, and it's got to take something special to take it off him. So yeah, go on, Matt.
It just seems a bit crap that he's going to lose it like in the middle of the card. A takeover. That's the only thing that kind of bugs me about it. It would be better if it was like a NXT UK takeover.
You see,
last match, Pete Dunne is finally defeated. Volta goes over, great. Whereas, and I know it's only 5 matches, but there's a potential for the significance of that to be lost in the middle of. We're going to talk about 3 matches. That kind of disservice to the women's match, but the 3 other matches that have got male competitors in, they're going to be awesome, and it's going to have to be an absolutely magnificent match to kind of elevate it over the top, and hold the significance of he is at the moment the champion in the whole of WWE who's held his title the longest, and just to be like. Because it's not going to be the last match on.
But then
if it's the first match on, that'd be cool. But
I'm kind of looking at this from the other way, because WWE NXT UK is the newest thing they've got. the championship has been around for like a couple of years, but this weekend there'll be so many more eyes on the whole product than there normally is. So having the match on that card, I think, can only help NXT UK. But I do get your point, but I think they've done it purely to try and get NXT UK. I'm probably not going too far out on a limb here by saying will be mostly watched by people in the UK, and I would have thought that they're doing it to try and capture some of the American market, whilst more people have an interest in it. Because I'd suggest that more people, if they see NXT Takeover, they'll watch it because they know NXT. If they see NXT UK Takeover, they might think, oh, maybe we'll see if I've got time. Whereas it's about then turning the people that are maybes into people that would definitely watch in the future. Because if they then have a rematch for that title further down the line at a UK Takeover, it will bring some of the viewers in. So I think it's a very tactical thing. I'm not too disappointed that it will probably be, like you say, if not the first match, it will be early doors. But
the only kind of thing that I've thought about, and we sound like absolute kind of British wrestling marks right now, is because Paul said nothing, Andy said nothing. Sorry guys. Is if there's a bit of British strong style chicanery, and then you get a bit of ring count and British strong style stuff, kind of leading up. I don't know, but I would say Walter's going to win, probably clean.
Should we take these predictions as we go?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the best way to do it.
Because we do have a lot of matches to predict today. So,
just about.
So I think we've already heard from Matt and myself going Volta. From what you guys have heard tonight or what you've seen, where are we going with this? Just
from what I've seen about him on the internet and stuff like that, obviously, I don't think he's had a match on NXT UK yet, has he?
I think he might have had one, possibly, because I seem to recall... It's like a squash match.
A quick squash
match.
Yeah, I seem to recall seeing a clip of him in action in an NXT UK ring.
Right, okay.
There's a tag match as well, I think, that was interfered with. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I imagine it's the sort of thing where they probably they've signed him because they want to keep him as like a, bit of an unstoppable monster sort of thing. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense having him lose his first big match. So, I mean, yeah, it makes the most sense for him to win the title. And like you say, Pete Dunne's had it for that long now, where it's almost like people have potentially forgotten about it.
From the podcast that we've done so far, you need a T-shirt that says "It makes the most sense," and then on the back says "But doesn't ever happen."
Never happen. But logically, this is what they should do. Don't do it.
So we go with Volta.
Yeah.
Andy?
I pick my wrestlers like I pick my horses by name and name alone. So obviously, Volta. I mean, what a name! Sounds like it should be,
Also,
four robots combined to make Volta.
If you actually said the word Volta as opposed to the name Volta, you'd expect him to be like some flippy lucha kind of style wrestler. Definitely not. He is like 7 foot tall.
You basically
like
just described Ricochet.
Yeah, everybody's favourite Irish wrestler.
Yeah, Rick O'Shea.
It used to be known as Big Daddy Volta, just to add kind of a bit of kind of background to him, and didn't kind of gives you the idea of what he's like.
But then also just to justify that, did not once wear the Union Jack spandex, just to make sure there's that differential. The next match, then moving on, the NXT. Easy for me to say, I know. The NXT tag title match, the War Raiders versus aforementioned Rick O'Shea and Aleister Black.
The match, as Matt's already said, the match will be great. Don't understand why it's happening.
No.
I get that.
Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, because, not to sort of jump ahead too much, but War Raiders are obviously winning. There's no way that they're gonna switch to tag titles. It makes absolutely no sense.
Okay.
Particularly when they're off to Raw, SmackDown. where
Yeah.
Aleister Black and Ricochet, it's
Exactly.
like, take my mortgage, take every mortgage I can get or I can get my hands on.
Oh my god, this is the thing, right? So because Stu hasn't said anything yet, he's obviously picking them two to win.
Not yet. You will get. We'll get to this.
Brilliant, excellent.
So
Okay.
no, I have a reason, and if we're going to go there, we'll go there now. So this time of year comes around. It's the financial year end. They do all the conference calls. Obviously, they've got the press stuff for WrestleMania coming out. And one of the questions in a conference call that Triple H was asked was, are Ricochet and Aleister Black ever staying on a brand, or are they just going to ping pong around forever? And his quote was, "It's expected to settle down soon." Now, is that because they're going to win the NXT tag titles and they're actually going to stick around in NXT for a little while, but they've been given the SmackDown tag team title match as a bit of a showcase at WrestleMania? Or is it because they're not winning the NXT tag team titles and then they're going to win the SmackDown titles at WrestleMania?
Or are they going to take everything?
I don't think they'll take both, but I'm really on the fence with this. But I am leaning more towards the War Raiders because I think they've had 2 defences against the same team so far. So it would probably make a bit more sense to have them carry on. And they are awesome. Just massive Vikings, essentially.
Big boys, big bruising boys.
Big, beardy, tattooed bruisers.
You would absolutely love that tag team. Maybe because you
It's an
share a lot
absolute,
of
it's like it's an indie wrestler's kind of an indie wrestling fan wet dream. That one. It's just like,
You speak for yourself, Mr. Moore. So yeah,
it's just like War Raiders. Everyone's been, oh yeah, War Raiders. When are they going to the WWE? Oh, it's fantastic, great. Yeah, and then you like chuck in Aleister Black and Ricochet. It's just like, oh,
Yeah, Matt's going to need a minute.
people are not going to make it through the night.
Clean up on aisle May.
So Matt's going War Raiders then.
Yeah.
I've also written War Raiders down. Andy?
You see, as this podcast knows, I'm a big fan of Ricochet.
Yep, with his
But
multiple flippy.
all I heard was big beards and tattoo.
Right, excellent.
And that's all it took for me to jump ship.
But Aleister Black.
To be fair, Aleister Black has got quite a large beard and tattoos.
And
Ricochet has tattoos and somewhat of a beard.
I just want to go on record at this point as well and say that currently Aleister Black has the best entrance and entrance music in all of wrestling. Every time I hear that
He
song.
does, but they've slightly ruined it by every time his sort of board that brings him up, they've started to add creaking noises over the top of it.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
And it sounds shit.
Maybe that's just them having crap equipment. Or putting the microphone too close to the...
I honestly don't think it is. If anything, it would sound more like a crank winch thing on a...
It's, in fairness...
what is it? Roller coaster.
If they're going to have that, and if they're adamant they're going to use a sound effect, it's better than him just going boing up to the top. Because that would just ruin the act. Just fire him off onto the stage. In fact, scrap the plank that lifts him up. Just fire him out of a cannon and have done with it.
You could do.
No, you didn't. So, did we actually get an answer?
I think you went War Raiders.
You going War Raiders?
Big tattoos.
Cool.
Big beards.
Paul, what is your prediction and what is your reason?
War Raiders, as stated before, I don't see it. It doesn't make any sense to take it off them. They've only really just got into the company, and you kind of want to build them. It's weird because in NXT, I don't know if anyone else feels this, but in NXT for me, the strongest division is the tag division.
Absolutely. Especially for the fact that that's the one that they have an annual tournament. I know they have the Mae Young, but they've had the Dusty Tag Team Classic for a few years now, and it's brought out some absolute gems through the brackets. So I've quite enjoyed watching that, and I'm hoping that even though they lost in the final, that the Forgotten Sons will make some sort of run within NXT in the tag division, because I do quite like them.
Yeah.
In the local guys. And as well, it only just dawned on me that this week, I was like, I've seen that Jackson Riker guy somewhere before. Yeah, it's Gunner from TNA, and I didn't know that until this week. Completely passed me by.
You silly old fool.
I know. So, let's move on. The NXT North American title. And there is only one word that will describe the guy that is going to win this match. Bro.
Yeah.
So, for those that haven't seen, this is Matt Riddle.
So, Andy is looking very perplexed at this point. So, Matt Riddle is a guy who used to be in the UFC. He had to stop being in the UFC because he liked to smoke certain...
Definitely doesn't sound like anybody that's been in UFC before.
certain items. He smoked...
The ganja.
The ganja.
Did he smoke? Did he smoke crack cocaine?
I don't think he was on crack. But
is this determining your level of interest?
I need to know how much I need to get on board with this.
Nice.
Well,
so this is the guy, we might have covered it last time. He sort of comes down to the ring in flip flops, and part of his entrance is he hops over the top rope and flicks his flip flops off at the same time. It does look quite good.
It does.
To be honest, the few matches I've seen that he's had so far, I like what I'm seeing personally. He wrestles barefoot. It's weird.
Yeah, this is the thing this is the only downside for me, because Rusev looked hard as nails when he had no boots on. Then he broke his ankle because he got his foot stuck in the mat because he had no proper footwear. So it's going to happen at some point. So I really don't want this to happen.
Stu hates barefoot wrestlers as much as Vince hates black wrestlers.
Oh! Well, he did put one in the main event that's not actually the main event of the main show. So there's light at the end of that tunnel. We'll get to that. So yeah, I've quite semi-confidently written Matt Riddle as my prediction.
This is the weird thing about this is the fact that in all of the matches, apart from maybe the women's title, wouldn't be disappointed with any outcome.
Agreed.
Pretty much, because all the wrestlers that are in all the matches, you could make an argument for them winning that match. Which is never the case.
I feel like I might have done Velveteen Dream a bit of a disservice by just completely passing over him.
Well, I think the thing with him is, I'd go so far to sort of flip forward. I'd even say he's going to appear on either Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania.
I think there is a chance that could happen, but I also then wonder, because of the call-ups that they've had, how many there actually are going to be this time around after WrestleMania. And I think Velveteen Dream is somebody who, depending on who wins the main event, could possibly go straight into an NXT title feud with whoever wins. Or both of them if they want a triple threat.
Yeah, potentially makes sense.
So yeah.
I think I don't know for me, I don't know if you remember Jay Lethal in TNA when he went through the kind of phases of being like a tribute act.
Dig it.
And
Black
Machismo
Machismo.
is like a serious version of that at times. I'm just like, he's a bit Macho Man, he's a bit Hulk, he's a bit kind of. And I'm like, do they need to just work on his character so then he's got something definite? Because he's a great wrestler, his matches are absolutely awesome. So I think he needs to stay in NXT. But Matt Riddle's going to win because he's the big signing and, he's the kind of big deal. For me, that's what kind of I thought about that match.
Okay, so I'm putting you down, Matt. So that's yourself. Andy?
I'll have a slice of Lord Voldemort, please.
What?
I would have thought Stu would have got it.
It's
I'm assuming it's from Porter.
It's Matt, yeah.
Voldemort's real name's
Tom Riddle.
So
right, okay.
Just for those of you that didn't hear that was the sound of that completely sailing over Paul's head. Are you going?
It's gone.
Are you going for Matt Riddle as well?
Oh, big time.
Right,
Bro.
I do quite like his music as well. Right,
He just looks like
I
a
like his drug policy.
If you thought of a guy who would be a surfer and go to the gym a lot, that would be whatever you're visioning in your head right now. That is that guy.
let's not forget the old. So,
what are you talking about?
is it just me or is it just ticked over to 420?
420.
So that'll bring us nicely onto the NXT.
RVD! Is he getting amongst it?
Come on, Paul. Focus. The NXT Women's Title match. It's a fatal four-way, as mentioned. Shayna Baszler going in as the champion. has had the belt an awful long time.
But well, she only won it back at Evolution.
Well, yeah, which was October.
That's only 5 months.
An awful
6
long time
months.
by my reckoning.
6 months.
We've got the Japanese duo of Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, and then chucking in Captain Ponytail herself, Bianca Belair.
So I don't know if this is another one we covered last time.
It is, 'cause she was in the title match, was it?
Yeah, she was. So her ponytail pretty much hits the floor. It's that long, and she uses it as a weapon.
Mm-hmm. And she does this really annoying entrance where she pretends to chew gum and swings her ponytail around, and just fall over it, please fall over it.
Wow,
not a fan.
Slammed. Oh,
is that your end, Mr. Mo?
He's bedtime.
He's wanting to get involved. Welcome to the podcast, Eddie. So, I'm gonna go straight in with this and I think Io Shirai is gonna win.
Interesting.
I think Kairi's had her time. I think it would be nice because Kairi and Io Shirai are the friends in the story. I think it would make an interesting dynamic to have them against each other. Mm-hmm. I don't think they'll particularly turn one of them heel, but it's been a long time since we've had a good actual competitive sort of just they want to sort of one up each other kind of a.
Yeah,
so
I'd agree with that.
I'm going straight in on Io Shirai. Plus, she is awesome. So
she is awesome. I also believe there'll be a title change.
Ooh, but he's not going the same way.
But I'm going to go for Bianca Belair.
Bianca Bellend.
Oh, hello.
That's what I was going to go for.
Bianca Bellend?
Do you want me to stick that down now?
Please.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's it almost to me feels like they've sort of taken their eye off the ball a little bit with the women's division.
What you mean? Because they completely gutted it? And
they took too many. They took too many people at once, and then they obviously thought, well, we can backfill this with all the people we've got in for the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, because at that time they did bring in 32 pretty much brand new people that they had the pick of. So
I kind of feel like they've sort of they've taken their eyes off it a little bit. I still think there's money in taking Baszler up to the main roster and having a cost Rousey a match somewhere. So
you mean possibly on Sunday?
Oh, maybe. But I can't see that being the case.
No, we'll get to that.
I'd imagine that eventually, that to me would make the most sense. But obviously, first you've got to get the belt off her and get her up on the main roster. And if Rousey is going away, as most people think that she is, then why not fill her space with a person who's very similar to her and that's got the MMA background?
You mean when they take one wrestler away out of the story and bring in a replacement that looks exactly the same and hope that nobody ever notices?
Yeah.
Like Diesel.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
2 Ultimate Warriors.
2 Warriors, yeah.
There's 2 Undertakers.
Yeah. Everyone knows there was 2 Undertakers. Absolutely was not for 2 Undertakers.
Diesel and Razor Ramon. That was they were terrible.
Yeah, they definitely were.
Well, that's the thing though, because Kane wasn't bad. He just wasn't Diesel.
No, but when
and then he became Kane, so it was actually good.
It was when the Outsiders left for WCW, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I get the Kane, the Diesel one, but the Scott Hall one, man. Did they just hope that everybody went out and got absolutely shit faced before that started? Because there was no way that people were going to believe that was the same guy.
Who is that?
So, did we get one from you, Matt? Who are you going with?
This was one of those ones where when we talked about it before, I was like, I couldn't care less about it. But Low Shirai,
Io Shirai, all the vowels.
It's when I'm looking on the internet and I'm like, is that what kind of is that an L? Is it an I? But yeah, so obviously I'm paying loads of attention.
This is the benefit of Nigel McGuinness's commentary, because I actually find him really entertaining, and also he kept the pronunciations from an English accent kind of point of view. Shall we move to the main event? NXT TakeOver New York, the NXT Championship. 2 out of 3 falls.
I mean, I don't think it's up for debate. This will be the match of the weekend.
I'd absolutely agree with that. And just as a little caveat on the back of this, it's a 2 out of 3 falls match, so not only should we predict the winner, but it should be the right score as well.
Ooh.
Will they have the balls to give it to somebody 2-0?
Not a fucking chance.
No.
I'd potentially be tempted to take the over on the time of the match as well. As like I'd say if you set your line at say 40 minutes, I won't be surprised if it goes 40 minutes.
I think it'll be longer than that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be looking at a long match.
But it's going to be one of those ones that you would have expected that it will be storytelling right from the start, because they've got to build it. They've got to get the.
But could it be that they have like a couple of quick falls and then they have a really long third fall? Potentially, like so. Let's say for example, Adam Cole catches him with, is it the last shot? He catches him with one of them just like off straight out of the gate.
It's that's where it starts to get a bit like. I think you'll get a clear winner. I think that there's a good chance that everybody will pick the same person here. But
well, I don't know, because I believe we discussed this earlier, and I think or not earlier, but potentially like a couple of weeks ago, and stuff like that. And I think me and you were on different sides of the coin here.
well, let's find out.
Let's see if we've changed our minds, eh?
I think it'll be longer than 40 minutes. I think it will be 2-1. Mainly because what's the point of having a 2 out of 3 falls match if they're not going to expend all 3 falls?
Excuse me, I'm very sorry, people.
And I think
And Nando's is coming back up again.
I think the winner will be Adam Cole, baby. Yeah. So that's where I'm going.
No, just me.
Just you.
Agree with absolutely everything you just said there. To me, it doesn't make It's not that it doesn't make sense to put it on Gargano. I just think the way that they've sort of built Adam Cole up, the idea would be to make the Undisputed Era the sort of force in NXT, and that all starts with him being the main guy for the company, him being the champion, and build around him. They could, if it was me, I'd have him as the champion for over a year, personally, and just have him basically just like run roughshod over the entire division.
I think that
he's that good.
I think the original planned match, obviously, which we've not mentioned, would have been Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. Unfortunately, Tommaso Ciampa has had neck surgery, and earlier this week also put out a statement that said that there is a chance. It was basically saying there is a chance he may not return, and if he did, he's been told that it would be on borrowed time.
Wow.
So that's kind of sad. I'm hoping that he makes a recovery, because he has been, in his own words, Mr. Sports Entertainment for the last 12 months.
Yeah, he's put on some absolutely stellar matches and stuff like that. So it's a real shame that he's had to forfeit the title and stuff due to ill health. But yeah, I suppose that's the nature of the beast, sadly, isn't it? I suppose when you're working in a fake sport and that, you know, because we all know it's completely fake, don't we, lads?
What?
Well, that's ruined Christmas for me.
Especially when he
I'm
finds
sorry,
out about
boys, I
Father
can't
Christmas.
come on Sunday. Ruined it.
So, Matt, where you going? What you got?
After like listening to you guys talk about it there, originally I was like, oh, Adam Cole, and it was just a kind of complete heart kind of thing, because Adam Cole's awesome. It's the promos are great, in-ring work is great, just everything about it. And then I thought, yeah, but shit, they wanted this to be Johnny Gargano against Tommaso Ciampa, payoff for all the DIY stuff. And so then I'm like, maybe they'll go Johnny Gargano, and maybe it'll be an absolute like twat for a year, and then Tommaso Ciampa will come back and win Goldie. So I'm going Johnny Gargano. And he's just going to corrupted by the title and just all that kind of thing, and then Tommaso Ciampa's going to come back. That's what I think.
I thought, did you see the picture that Ciampa put out from the hospital? It was fantastic.
Yeah.
He had a neck brace on because he'd just had his surgery, and there he was hugging his
Don't my parade. Don't piss on my
Go on then. Go on then.
I'm done. I told you what I've seen. I've seen it. I'm done.
I don't know what just happened.
I'm not quite sure either. I was talking about the photograph that he put out.
What was the photograph? I don't know. What, his neck?
No, he put out a photograph of him sat in the hospital bed after the operation, wearing a neck brace, hugging Goldie, the NXT title, that also had a neck brace around it.
Oh, for God's sake!
I've not seen that one.
Ah, incredible.
I missed that one. I've seen all the kind of like ones with his wife and his kid and all the kind of I'm like, and then like out with the kind of like obviously his like kind of I've come back from this, that, and the other and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm still going with the Gargano win and a year of him being like Johnny anti-wrestling or something like that.
Do you know what? If that happens, I won't be complaining. But I don't know.
Where are you going with that, Andy?
Going the same as mine.
No, look at this guy.
So there's me saying,
he's listening. He's taking it all in.
There's me saying we'll all pick the same person, and it is a bang-on 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Are you two both going 2-1 Gargano as well on that one?
Yeah. Like you say, there's no point in having a match that doesn't use all of its capabilities.
Correct.
So, and are we going over 40 minutes?
For me, personally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other ones will all be pretty quick to kind of
accommodate it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that wraps up NXT TakeOver New York.
Put a nice bow on it. Right, next, Hall of Fame. Oh no, we don't need to cover
Yeah,
that,
let's not worry about the Hall of Fame.
I reckon there'll be a heel turn by...
There's already been a heel turn. They chose to put Tori Wilson in instead of the Bulldog.
Ooh,
let's not go into this.
Controversial.
So, WrestleMania 35 emanates 2 nights later from TakeOver from the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
MetLife.
The matches we've got confirmed to this point now stand at 15. So, yeah. Well, come along, boys. This is going to be some prediction fest. So the SmackDown titles, the tag team titles match was added, which was Usos versus Black and Ricochet versus The Bar versus Nakamura and Rusev. So this is one that has literally been dropped last minute. It feels very much like we need to get them on the card, but they're too good to be in the Battle Royal. What are we going to do? Bearing in mind that Black and Ricochet especially have been fighting for the Raw tag team titles for the last month, and now they've got a SmackDown title match after they were screwed out of the Raw titles on the Raw before WrestleMania. This makes very little sense to me.
It is... yeah.
Based on what I said earlier on about them settling down, I think they're going to find SmackDown as their new home. So I'm very firmly in the camp of Black and Ricochet to win this one.
Interesting.
But this is also, as well, let's not forget, where we get the other predictions.
Ah, yes, guest predictions.
From our listener. Again, shout out to Gaz. We've got your predictions down. Now, Gaz did put a caveat in his prediction of he thinks the Usos are going to retain, but if Black and Ricochet lost at TakeOver, then he was going Black and Ricochet to win this. So he has put a little caveat in that one. I can understand that. I'm fully on board with his choice on that one.
Usos.
Okay, pause straight in there with the retention.
They've only just gotten back. Doesn't make any sense for it to move it at this point for me. It's very much been thrown together last minute. I don't think I wouldn't. It's the sort of match I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up on the pre-show.
I think it will end up on the pre-show.
So it doesn't make a lot of sense to do a title switch on the pre-show.
They'll do it.
So yeah, sticking with the Usos for me.
Mr. Moore.
Yeah, Usos. Yeah, I've got. It's one of them ones where I've not got much to say about it.
Cool.
It's like it's where they just buried people into, Nakamura and Rusev, get them in, the Bar, because these are all people that people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like you said, thrown together yesterday, or Yeah, so Usos.
Usos as well, Andy?
If it helps, the bar has Sheamus in it.
But he's a Liverpool scum fan, so...
Yeah, I noticed. I thought you'd have something to say about that.
He's
So he's the guy with the huge afro and the rather long
Afro?
beard.
Mohawk.
That's the one.
Please, that has got to be the new entrance at WrestleMania. Sheamus shocks the world. Not by winning the tag team titles, by coming out with a ginger afro.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
Did we ever work out which he was? Was he Bebop or Rocksteady? Because I'm pretty sure we got it wrong.
And do you know what? If that was a quiz question, I would still not know the answer.
Because now I'm like, we got it wrong at the time, but I don't think anybody's retained the information. Ricochet and Aleister Black from the Sleep.
Excellent choice.
Look at this guy! Getting amongst it. Can I put a caveat on mine?
No.
Well, you can.
No.
You can.
No, I'll put the caveat will be.
No caveat.
Yeah, I'll put it on. So I think it'll be the Usos, but if it's not them, it'll be either Aleister Black and Ricochet, or the
It's
bar,
going to be one of those four.
or
This is definitely sounding like the guy that goes to the casino and goes, "I'll put a tenner on red, stick a tenner on black as well, just in case."
I was going to say, that's like when you go, I'll put 50p on that, and 50p on all the others that are running in that race.
We've matches wise then moving on. We have also got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
snooze.
Do we think this is also a pre-show?
Yes.
It usually is.
It says it here, pre-show.
Have you got there's been some confirmation. I'm not going to go through the full list of entrants. I will go through a select few. I guess the headline point of this is that Braun Strowman is firmly in that match. And also, strangely, two of the people from, is it the Weekend Report on Saturday Night Live?
Saturday night. What the actual fuck?
That's weird.
Colin Jost and Michael Shea. I did not know who they were until they appeared on Raw, and I would be quite happy to never see them again.
So I actually saw that. There was like an altercation backstage where it was like so forced, it was unbelievable, and then it was like, oh, now they're in this match. It's like, what? Really?
Did you see that to apologise for their sort of insults, they sent him a car which Braun, being Braun, just flipped it over and ripped it to pieces. It just happened to coincide very cynically with the release of Mattel's latest toy, the Braun Strowman that flips over a car that looks exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah, strange.
You do so.
So yeah, we've
That's
got them
weird.
three in there. Everybody's hoping for a Titus World Slide, seeing as he is also in that match. You've got former WWE champion Jinder Mahal. There's Bobby Roode. There's Lucha House Party. Everybody's favourite tag team, The Ascension. Shelton Benjamin.
Benjamin Shelton.
Yeah, Benjamin Shelton. Matt and Jeff. There's also the guys who I'm currently sporting the t-shirt of, Gallows and Anderson. Criminally underutilised.
I mean, like, criminally underutilised. It should be called the criminally underutilised Battle Royal.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
It doesn't. But,
Also, how do they make a trophy of that?
basically, just stick Cesaro on a plinth.
Triple H with a shovel.
Yeah, exactly. Just winking with a quick flicking a gun at
Giving the gun.
giving the gun at the camera.
So does
Do you
anybody...
reckon the Triple H's match will be on the pre-show?
Yeah.
I bet Triple H is on
No
the
one
pre-show.
wants that.
Loves a bit of camera time, that boy. So I'm not sure if I can get firmly behind Braun Strowman, because I don't know if they're going to do some kind of screwy thing with the Saturday Night Live guys. My main concern at this point is that one of the Saturday Night Live guys are going to win, just for promotion,
Almost. Definitely.
which will really, really, really annoy me.
You'd really hope not, because bear in mind that name has to stay on that trophy,
Yeah.
and moving forward, it would make absolutely no sense for that to be on there, because they're not going to be there a year from now, are they?
I'd like them
So-
to give... Every year they promise that it's building the commentary. Winning this match can turn your career around.
Bullshit.
Well, let's have a little look at this. Cesaro, done really nothing but tag team wrestling since. Matt Hardy won last year's, done nothing but tag team wrestling since. Baron Corbin, let's just not talk about that prick.
What are you loving?
So,
I've seen you with about 8 different Baron Corbin t-shirts.
and setting them all on fire. I think with this, if my heart is going to make the prediction on this, and I'm going to say Apollo Crews.
Do you know what? Wouldn't be disappointed with that, because he's a good wrestler. He just can't. He can't talk. His promos are terrible.
Just to throw Gaz's prediction in there, he has gone for Braun.
I mean, I'm going Braun.
Okay.
Personally, but it's just one of those matches that I just couldn't. So we were at WrestleMania the first year they had it, and we said if they actually put like time and effort into this, it could be something really good. And they've just totally. It is basically the right. Who's on the roster who's not got a match yet? Put them in the Battle Royal.
This is a whole separate issue in the respect of, and we were talking about this earlier in the week before we came to this, that WrestleMania used to be something that it felt like the wrestlers had to work towards. If they put the effort in through the year, they were rewarded with a match at WrestleMania. Now it's become such a big thing. It's like, we're going to make a shit ton of money. Everybody gets a payday. Let's just smash everyone on the show and make it 55 hours long.
You're all there, no matter what you do.
Yeah. So
it is ridiculous. It is getting too long as well. It's
7.5 hours is.
It's bad enough. It's bad enough watching it when you're in the comfort of like sat in a chair or lying on a bed or whatever watching it. If you're sat in a really hard like metal folding chair in a stadium that's probably going to be not the warmest.
Well, there was rumours that there was rain forecast and bit of possible hail going on. Should be interesting.
And you sat there for 7.5 hours, possibly longer. It's just.
Which is very.
They need to go back to the less is more.
I agree.
Thing.
But then, very kindly, they stick Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. So everybody that's in the stadium, enjoy your piss break.
Wow. Wow. Why have you got a hate on Kurt that bad?
It's not Kurt.
It's just because he's fighting your favourite wrestler.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly.
So, oh my god. Can you imagine if Triple H decides so he wins this year? Spoiler. We'll just flip that on. And then he decides next year I'm going to have another retirement match, and he has it against Baron Corbin, and he loses. Is that the day you just give up?
As much as Triple H is my favourite wrestler, I think that would definitely demote him somewhat.
Sorry. So if I start the petition now...
Don't get me wrong, I get the whole argument of putting over the younger guy that needs to then continue with his career, but Baron Corbin's career should not be in wrestling.
Well, he tried the NFL and he was shit at that.
Yep. So he tried quite hard at that apparently as well, and didn't do any good. He's trying quite hard at wrestling, not doing any good.
This is the thing. I just totally disagree. He's a decent wrestler.
To steal a line from Renee Young, he's got the waistcoat. Just fuck off to TGI Fridays. So off you go, sunshine. That's it. That's it. Don't get me started anymore. Matt, have you got a winner for the Battle Royal?
It's like one of them ones where you're like, do I care?
Do you?
No, Bobby Roode.
You're going Bobby Roode. That's not again. Wouldn't be disappointed with that.
I mean, literally, not to put too fine a point in it, it could literally be anybody. There's that many shithouses in that fucking ring that it could be any of them.
Like you said, though, there's definitely going to be something done with Braun Strowman. So it's like, he's not going to win it again, and, unless there's like some extra entries. Obviously, lots of rumours going around since Gronk retired. He's going to be involved in the WWE. Wouldn't be surprised if something happened along there.
Please don't tell me that you're insinuating this could make Mojo Rawley the first two-time winner. We haven't even mentioned Mojo.
Please, God,
He's going to come in and Gronk spike it.
So, Matt's gone Bobby Roode. Andy, who are you going?
What 2 words? Those 2 words are Jeff Hardy.
Do you know what? His brother won it the year before. Won't put it past him.
Yeah, so that on the trophy it reads Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy.
These are the matches though where it comes to scoring it afterwards, where everybody's got no idea what's going to happen. So these are going to be the difference. And it's just dawned on me that a guy who isn't actually on the podcast could beat us at it. That's the only downside of having the guest predictions. So if Gaz doesn't get a mention next month, then you all know why. Okay, so moving on then, we've got the female equivalent, the Women's Battle Royal. We do have a minimal list of entrants. Again, I'm not going to go through all of them because there are too many. Highlights, Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, definitely not going to win after Twitter this week, we'll get to that. Lana, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Dana Brooke, the Riot Squad, all three of them, Zelina Vega, and my favourite female wrestler of all time, Mickie James. Just a few of the people that are in it. Anybody got any thoughts? Want to take this one?
Asuka, next question.
Ask the next question.
Yeah, please.
Ask the next question.
Gaz has gone Mandy Rose, if that throws anybody's persuasion.
Well, I mean, basically, I imagine Vince has basically just gone, Asuka, thanks for coming in today. Just a couple of quick things. We don't really give two fine fucks about you, so we're going to take the belt off you. But as a little bonus for you, you can win the Battle Royal that everyone cares about. Pats her on the head and gives a little tap on the fanny as she walks out. That's the American fanny.
Just to clear that up.
Not the English fanny. So yeah.
Just grab a
He's not Donald Trump.
WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump to you. Andy, you got a thought on the winner?
Not really.
You literally couldn't care any less, could you?
No. Yeah, ask her.
Ask her.
Ask her another question.
Mr. Moore?
Just to be different, Ruby Riott.
Ooh, I like it.
I really like her.
Alright, mate, calm down.
Not like that. Just
I
again,
really like her in the trouser department.
she's just good at what she does. She doesn't even need the other two. She could be a solo act on her own. She's quite happy with
I
that.
imagine that's that will be what will eventually happen.
They've got it written that we're going a bit off track with this one, I guess, but she eventually could go singles and leave the other two as a tag team now they've got the women's tag title.
Yeah, would make sense.
Speaking of women's tag titles, should we jump into that one now?
Well, there's still a pre-show match.
Oh, you want
going?
Are you trying to tell me that there might be a possible cruiserweight title match that may or may not be on the pre-show?
Well, it gets on the main card every year. It's like it's the second to last. It's the joint co-main event in it every year.
No, get it right. It is the main event every year of the pre-show.
Fuck me.
You're all right. So, cruiserweight title match: Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese. For a bit of backstory for those that haven't heard or haven't seen, Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy were buddies. Tony Nese was almost the muscle in the story, I guess, to help protect the title a little bit.
Got like an 8-pack.
He has got an 8-pack.
Wow.
And he won the tournament to determine the challenger for the title, so he's going against his mate.
And another little bit of sort of backstory. Do you know where Tony Nese is from?
Not Nese.
The UK.
No. Where's WrestleMania? New Jersey. Yep. Local boy.
So he's going to lose.
He's obviously going to win. Tony Nese.
I've gone Tony Nese. Kaz has gone Tony Nese. Matt.
Yeah, Tony Nese.
Which leaves Andy.
Gonna go the other way, but
Aussie.
You going for Buddy? The Christmas elf.
Hey, buddy. Hey, guy.
I got my buddy guy. Yeah, put me down for Buddy.
Okay.
Just like I say, Buddy.
That series done. Okay.
Oh, we need to talk more about the Cruiserweight Championship match. It's so good.
We've probably talked about it as long as it will actually, like the
They
match will
talked
actually
about
take.
it more than they talked about it at the WWE.
Burn. Slice.
Shots fired.
Flame. Shots fired.
So, where do you want to go next? Should we go? Seeing as we've bigged him up so much, we'll leave the women's tag team.
I was going to say, from this point, you might as well just work your way down.
Let's go for the match that I really can't wait for. And it is such a shame that he's going out in this way. Mr. Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist, versus Boring Corbin.
So is this his last match?
Yes.
No.
Oh, hello. Oh, is this another side prediction?
This is bullshit, right? That match, for starters, is not happening.
I think it will.
I don't think it'll happen. They'll have some sort of creative way to write him out of it, and then Cena will ride down, and they will have the full circle thing of Angle had Cena's first match, so Cena has Angle's last match.
Well, this Mr. Williams is a thing that was foretold also by Gaz, our guest predictor. He said Kurt will beat Baron Corbin, and then Cena will come out and beat Kurt. My response to Gaz would be, that would be quite alright, as long as Cena comes out to the Thugonomics music, old style.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Or if he comes down in his original gear, which looks like he
my God, that would
borrowed
be
them out of the
hilarious.
Lost Property box.
But where? How would be my question there.
Well, surely if he literally trips him up, sticks him in the ankle lock, and he taps out within 10 seconds.
But it doesn't make. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Like you've got to have a reason for Cena to have the match, so you've got to get Corbin out of it somehow. Just don't. I can't see him. I can't see Angle having 2 matches in one night. Is that his
Angle beats him quickly, gives it the old "I want a challenge on my last match." It basically gives the speech that he gave to Cena before Cena came out and made his debut.
I tell you something. I'm not there, but I'll lose my shit if he goes, "I want a challenge," and we hear the gong.
What? So it was Angle Undertaker.
That'd be a fucking hell of a match. Well, it wouldn't. It'd be a terrible match, but it'd be over pop.
Slow. God.
Jesus
The first match against Corbin would take 10 seconds. The second match against Undertaker would be 3 moves, and it would take 24 minutes.
Did you watch the tribute video to Kurt Angle? It just made me really sad.
Yeah, the one that was the one from Raw this week. Yeah.
Awesome. And then now you see him plod around the ring, like, you know. There's probably better wrestling matches in a nursing home. Oh man, he's so slow. It's painful.
My mate Gotti has this point. He kept saying this when because he used to watch a lot of TNA, and he was like, "Why is Kurt Angle still?" This was like back in like 2011. He was like saying, "Why is Kurt Angle still wrestling? He can't even walk to the fucking ring."
It looks like every step hurts him. And it's just like, please, just stop, because, you know...
That's how I feel when I see Mick Foley these days.
Yeah, but he's got loads better, because he's lost loads of weight and he started doing DDP yoga, so he's got loads of like fluidity back in his motion.
Well, at the point he was bad, he could barely walk.
Yeah.
It was sad to see.
Well, when me and Matt saw him in Newcastle, he was in a pretty bad way, wasn't he, back then?
Oh, yeah.
That was a good few years ago now. But
This Kirk?
No, Mr.
Michael
Foley, yeah. So I think they've missed a trick by advertising it as a farewell match, because it loses that edge of... I mean, granted, now we know what's happened with the Triple H storyline, they maybe wouldn't have had 2 careers on the line in one show, but I think it was the wrong build for me. I would have preferred them to have said, we're going to have this match, but Kurt's career's on the line, and it gives that kind of a little bit of the Willy won't he carry on sort of thing.
Then you won't be able to give Dave what he wants.
Give him what he wants, what he really, really wants. Please tell me you've seen this.
I saw that.
We'll come to this.
Well, I don't know if you were gonna, because I don't know if it was you or you, Matt, that someone had put it in our little group about the Avengers
It was me, I think.
poster.
Have you seen the Avengers Endgame posters where it's like we will avenge the fallen or something? It's like a purple silhouette of their faces, and someone's done a Drax one and they've put the writing across it. Give me what I want instead. Perfect.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff coming out. I spoke to Paul about the fact that I was saying with the development, the James Gunn development, and how that came over into the wrestling. Because Batista was there like all the time, and I'm doing this, that, and the other, and they announced that James Gunn's back to do Guardians 3, and next thing they're just reading stuff out from Batista. I'm not going to be here this week, or next week, or the week after. Or, in fact, forget I exist. It was like, yeah, there's no correlation between those things whatsoever.
Just as a side note and a throwback to a previous podcast, we had the discussion about the blue glasses and the blue nose piercing.
Yeah.
He mixed it up this week. He had red glasses and a red nose piercing. Because he's on brand for Raw. That's how he rolls.
Well, yeah, blue for SmackDown.
Yeah.
Blue nose piercing. On Raw this week.
Just
Little switcheroo.
no.
I mean, I don't know what... If I was Triple H in that match, I would be ripping that fucker out.
I think we're digressing from the Angle Corbin match. I'll give you that much. But
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, this can't be what Kurt Angle goes out of the business on.
Exactly.
It
It
cannot
doesn't make
be
it. It's
his
bullshit.
final
It's
match.
bullshit. It won't be his last match.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
That
It
does
just
not,
simply won't be his last match.
That does not send off Kurt Angle.
no.
There's no. I know Vince is a total douche and stuff like that at times, but he's not that much of a total douche for a guy who arguably gave some of his best years to the company.
But don't forget, Vince has a fantastic track record with people who pissed off the TNA and then came back again.
Yeah, I suppose.
I have the horrible. I'd like it not to be. I'd like it to go down the way that Gaz has said, where Cena comes out to be his last match. Because to me, that's the full circle thing we talked about. I just have a horrible gut feeling that it'll just be shit. We've got no time. We've got all these matches. Screw it. Yeah, just do Angle Corbin. Let's just have it 10 minutes. Oh, not even 10 minutes. Let's just have it over and done with. Angle wins. See you later, kid. Thanks for coming. I just horrible gut feeling about it.
It's going to be unless it is any of the scenarios that we've said before, it's just going to be really disappointing. So if Corbin wins, you're like, no, that's rubbish. If Angle wins and it's a bit of a kind of squash, and then that's it, and he waves and walks out, well, God is wheeled out.
I was going to say, walks out. Fucking hell, have you got to spare 45 minutes for him to make his way back up the ramp?
They'll bring back those tiny rings on wheels, won't they?
It's just going to be really disappointing. But
so what you going? Do you think Angle will beat Corbin?
God, I do think it's the Cena thing, to be honest, because obviously there is no John Cena, so I think it is that like you kind of figured out that kind of either a quick beating of Corbin or Cena attacks Corbin on the entrance, so this guy's a bum, you shouldn't be fighting him, and you're going to fight me instead, something like that, and then Angle loses to Cena, and then that's it.
So you're gonna go. I'm assuming then Angle, possibly Cena, like Gaz has.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy?
I fancy a slice of that, but I also am very much aware of what we've experienced previously with.
This is what they should do.
This is what they should do, and this was what would make it good. But my fear is, like you say, that they're just going to go, I haven't got time for all that nonsense.
Oh
So
my
let's
God.
just Send him away.
Do you know when it got to the playoffs of the NFL, and you were saying, this is what I want to happen, so put me down for this?
Yeah.
That's what you should do for the predictions.
Yeah.
This is what I want to happen, so they'll do the complete opposite of that, so stick that down.
Yeah.
So you want the winner of the Angle versus Corbin match, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Stick me down with John Cena.
So you just go in Cena with
Yep.
no other.
Yeah, well, I don't see that match happening, so...
Okay.
I mean, technically I should put NA there.
Well, I'll stick you down for Cena. Let's be fair. I'll be scoring it.
Well,
So.
money in the banana stand.
I will not be scoring it on the night because we'll probably be inebriated by this point.
No, because by this point we'll be having our replenishing coffee.
Piss.
Slash kangaroo steak.
Where are you going to be for this?
Walkabout.
So, if anybody listening happens to be out in Leeds, give the Getting Over crew a shout. We will be in Walkabout Leeds.
We accept most beers. I think these lads would probably quite like a Foster's Radler.
That is Mr. Williams speaking for himself. If anybody does buy us a Foster's Radler, it will be returned. Paul will drink
Into my mouth. Andrew, Foster's Radler, yes or no?
Nowadays or in the day?
Just in
there,
general.
just in general.
Is
In
it-
general,
should it be a thing?
I have drunk a Rattler in my time.
But
Sorry about that, boys.
Whoa.
Summer drink.
It is a summer drink.
This is somebody who's sitting on the fence because we asked what the thought was and he said I've drunk one. He didn't say if he enjoyed it or
No,
not.
we used to love tucking into a case of Radlers.
I used to smash a case in because they're just so easy to drink.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose Shandy's alright.
What am I listening to?
Welcome to the Drinkers Podcast.
No, not a drinkers.
No.
No,
Speaking
not a drinkers podcast.
speaking of alcohol and what it could possibly do to a person, let's go to the Falls Count Anywhere match.
Oh, thank God for that. I thought you were going to say something along the lines of the last time we were all in the same vicinity and drinks were happening. I got chopped and my ball got caved in.
You did get chopped off.
So the Miz versus Shane has finally come about. We've talked about it on the podcast before.
That's exactly what we said on the Rumble podcast, wasn't it?
Pretty much.
I was going to say, just dawned on me, did I call a Shane McMahon heel turn at Fastlane?
Yes, I believe you might have.
You did.
I'm pleased.
Sorry about that.
Not sorry at all.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Just if we can just have the door frame widened so Mr. Ego can get out of it. Nostradamus. I'm thinking this was purely made a Falls Count Anywhere match so Shane can throw himself off something. Anybody disagree with that?
No, that's exactly why.
Gaz has predicted The Miz. I will agree with Gaz on this one. I think The Miz is winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
Again, doesn't make any sense for Shane to get a win.
So that's Miz. Andy?
Ooh. Falls Count Anywhere?
Yeah.
Can I make the pick that the fall will happen after Miz comes off the top of something large onto Shane?
That sounded really wrong, but yeah, if you like.
It's obviously not
a little vague.
So Shane McMahon's like the guy who takes the big risks and obviously likes to jump off massive things onto people. I think it's just perfectly set up for the Miz to do that to Shane to win the match.
Whilst I'd be okay with that happening, I think it's also likely that for once, well, not for once because I guess it has happened in the past, but Shane will probably throw himself off something and miss, which will be then the Miz's kind of 2 fingers up to him.
But he always does that. He always misses.
He doesn't always miss.
He did again. So the 2 times he's come off the top of the absolutely massive Hell in a Cell, he's missed both times.
I'm pretty sure that he didn't miss when he chucked himself off the Tron back in the day.
Yeah, but that was different. Because he was young.
That was there, but
this
this is now.
He was young and had apparently bones made of absolute steel.
Well, Andy, we got...
Shane O'Mac.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
The best in the world.
TVIW. Caveat.
Here we go.
CM Punk to pop up. Like, fuck you, bitch.
Well, isn't he listed on the to show up at WrestleMania?
Yeah, yes, he was. Somebody going to answer that.
A little more choking it would have started.
I mean, like, come on, mate. You should be working on these floorboards by now. They shouldn't be as creaky as that.
Well, I don't think there's a chance of CM Punk turning up ever.
Absolutely not.
No.
It's a shame, but it's the truth.
Did everyone predict that?
What?
Did Matt give a prediction on that one? Did
Yeah.
you say Miz?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is.
Ah, yeah.
So Andy's gone against the grain on that
Of course
one.
he has.
Everybody else has gone Miz.
This is going to be amazing when it comes back and it's like, and after last month's predictions, Andrew with 16 out of 16. And we're like, what the fuck? The best thing is I can't wait until we get to the Universal Championship match because you might as well just stick him down for it already because you know exactly who he's going for.
I think the next match on the list...
Broccoli wrap.
The next match on the list for me is almost the sleeper of the whole thing. It's not had that much build-up. It was given a bit of airtime this week. But Randy Orton versus AJ Styles has the potential to be the match of WrestleMania for me.
Yeah, but you raised an interesting point a couple of months back. Has AJ Styles lost a step?
I think he has, but I don't think Orton's probably as fast as he is. So pacing-wise, they're probably about even.
I cannot stop watching the Out of Nowhere videos.
Great, Andy.
I can't stop watching them. Just the one with the rocket.
I haven't seen that one.
There's just a rocket taking off, and it gets so far and then wavers, and then just...
Does he grab it and then bring it
he
down?
grabs it and brings it down.
Of course he does.
I know this
There's
is...
like collapsing buildings and stuff. I just love the ones where they do like the really close up, and he's like...
Yeah.
It's just the way that he moves. It's fucking brilliant.
I know it's really harsh, but I like the ones where it's the people that are bailing on the skiing
People are
videos.
just falling over.
There was a video that he posted on his own Instagram account a good while ago now, where he did one on his kids into the swimming pool, but actually did it. Awesome. I think that's pretty cool. I think to to coin an old podcast phrase that I've definitely used before, I think they've blown the load early on this one, because part of the fallout from SmackDown this week was AJ gets knocked to the ring apron, comes flying in with a phenomenal forearm to be caught by the RKO. I would have bet my house on that being the finish to that match if that hadn't have happened on SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
But now it has happened. I think AJ is going to win.
Oh. So, again, I'd agree with you on that one. So, I treated myself to probably the best RKO of all time. The WrestleMania 31 RKO, which I believe we were all there for in the Artful Dodger.
Indeed we were.
That's the one where Seth Rollins went for his finisher, and he basically tossed him up in the air mid-finisher and gave him the RKO, and it looked spectacular.
He fell from about 10 foot, didn't he?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. So
you've gone AJ though?
Yeah, I kind of wanted, but it was almost sort of like set up for, it was a case of, right, AJ, what can you do creatively to get yourself into a really good space to take a good looking RKO as the finish? But like you said, they've kind of spunked that up the wall with SmackDown. I don't know. I'm a bit sort of confused by this one. I don't really know where they're trying to go with it.
I think it's got the potential to run into almost a number one contenders kind of feud.
Yeah.
That'd work for me.
Yeah, I'll agree with your logic. Sit me down for AJ, just based on that.
Gaz has gone for AJ as well. Andy?
Randy Orton.
Going for Randy Orton.
No way.
Randall Keith.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just RKO and shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just going to put RKO in the prediction. Mr. Moore. Hit us.
Not with an RKO.
I'm going to go Randy Orton as well. I think just as something a bit different.
Okay.
I know AJ's been on lots of wins and lots of that kind of thing. So I think Randy Orton is just because obviously with his history of not liking flippy shit, as he said.
Oh man, you would have enjoyed Randy Orton's promo on SmackDown this week. He went in hard on the indies, like he tends to do on Twitter, but actually put it on TV.
Did you not see what AJ said?
Yes, it was very
Stiff!
good. It was.
It was
very
like,
good.
but when I was making it on the indies, you were getting suspended for your drugs use, weren't you?
It was good.
Drop the mic!
But, in fairness, Orton then did follow that up with, well, now Cena's gone off to Hollywood, at least you've assumed the role of corporate bitch. So it got... This is the thing. They've had the chance to build this up, and all the build-up for it happened within about 20 minutes on the week before WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly.
The match was announced ages ago.
Yeah.
But
yeah. It's just dawned on me, another thing that happened in SmackDown was they stuck with their insane policy of dropping random names from people's...
Yeah, I did briefly mention this during the Fastlane results. But yeah, Mustafa is no more.
Yeah, apparently on his ring entrance, it came up on the ring thing. It came up on the like, for fuck's sake.
Perfect. Somebody is getting the sack.
Yeah.
Mainly someone in the graphics department. Yeah, I'd noticed that. It's because Samoa Joe gave him a bit of a beating, didn't he, on SmackDown this past week? So
beat the name out of it.
Yeah, just smashed him until the name fell off. So at this point, let's
smashed him until the name fell off.
Let's give Paul a minute. Paul needs a minute. So I think it's about time to give Andy what he wants.
Give me what I want!
Give him what he wants. Let's talk no holds barred. Triple H's career, in-ring career, I should specify, on the line, and the return of Big Dave.
Little bit of backstory. Triple H has done everything in this business,
But he's not
beat me.
Yeah, it's alright.
Well, but let's put it this way: they're not bringing Batista back to beat Triple H again, are they?
Well, that is the question we are posing to you.
They're absolutely not.
They're
Triple H
not
wins.
bringing Batista back at all.
You don't think he's going to be in the match?
No, I think he'll be in the match, but I don't think he's coming back. I think this is going to be a
No, he's not. But
deal.
to be fair, he did an interview about 6 or so months ago when he said that he wanted to come back and he wanted to tour. He wanted to go on and do the house show loop and stuff like that.
I was just going to say about this because we got all that spiel, and then Andy, about 5-10 minutes ago, hit the nail on the head. James Gunn's back, right? I'm off, boys.
Yeah, see you later.
That's it. It's the whole
Because
thing.
at that point in time, he was scheduled to be in a movie that then got shit canned.
Yeah.
And he was like, what's my fallback again? Oh yeah, Vince, can you let me in, please? I've got some wrestling that I need to do. I'll talk. Definitely going to be there.
Just give me what I want.
Now about that touring.
I'm just going to send you this bit of paper so that you can read this out to say that I'm not going to turn up for the next few weeks.
Although Raw was...
Post.
This week's Raw was probably Dave Bautista's best ever promo. He came out...
It was good.
He came out, pointed to the screen where...
He doesn't just point. He sort of did this weird little sort of floppy hand point like that.
And then...
It was really weird.
Gives everybody the direction to the screen. Plays this video package of every single pinfall that he's had over Triple H. Just panning Triple H into the ground. Comes back, you're expecting this big old speech, and he just goes, Hunter, kiss my ass. Off he goes. That's it, that was the whole promo.
Just kept staring at the camera.
Less is more.
Yeah.
Worked for me. I enjoyed it, it was fun.
It feels very much like they built this up because they had a lot in mind, and then now it's like, got to go to my other job. So they're like, let's just make it so people are bored of it by the time it happens, so that nobody's going to care.
I find this quite ironic in a way that, like, it's the guy that is one of the guys in charge is in the match, and it kind of epitomises their whole entire last year of, we've got this awesome plan, and then something happens, whether it's an injury, whether it's the film thing, and then they have to change course at the last minute, and it ends up being something different to what they probably envisioned at the start. So, with that, give me what I want. Give me some predictions.
Give Stu what he wants.
Paul's already gone. Triple H.
3 H's from me.
Triple H for Andy. Mr. Moore.
Triple H. I'll go Triple H.
Clean sweep, as Gaz has also thrown Triple H into the hat. So that will either be a point or no points all.
A point or no points at all, and Stu crying.
Why will you will be the only one who is excited because of your teenage crush on Dave Bautista. See, he's gone silent. It's true story.
Seriously, I remember watching it. I remember watching WrestleMania 21, 2005.
With a box of tissues.
We'd done the predictions that we were doing.
Became a man.
Classic.
Oh my!
That's killed Paul's story, Matt. Well done.
What's the next match?
You want to move on?
Well, it's just about that you were absolutely convinced that he was not beating Batista, that Triple H was not getting beat by Batista. I was like, yeah, absolutely.
And here we are, a video package and a point later on. Yeah. So the next match I have on the list is the Scottish psychopath, Mr. Drew McIntyre, versus Roman Reigns.
On paper, should be a great match.
Yeah.
Both good workers. No reason why it can't be a good match. I just don't see any sort of benefit to the match.
I'm in full agreement with this. I think, for me, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
As much as this makes me sound horrible, they're going to give him the big win on his comeback from his illness. But Drew McIntyre would absolutely benefit the most from winning that match. But they won't do it because of it being Roman's return.
Yeah, correct.
That is my thought, anyway.
Yep, same here.
So we're going Roman for you as well, Andy, yeah?
Yeah, it's one of those, I think it's going to probably be still a little while before Roman Reigns loses a match.
I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, I totally agree. Sorry.
I think they'll give him a couple of wins, but I'm hoping they don't fall into the trap they did last time of trying to push him down everybody's throat, which turned everyone. Now he's beaten this illness, and everybody's... Well, Paul mentioned that he was getting a few boos already. So
they have started to creep back in. I noticed on Raw.
I'm hoping they don't make the same mistake with him twice.
Yeah. see.
Matt, where are you going with that?
I'm gonna pick Drew McIntyre.
Ooh,
Right,
good lad.
fucking huff when Roman Reigns wins. So.
Well, I'm with you in spirit. I just don't think he will.
I know. I don't think he will, but it pisses me off that it's like, we better get. He's back. Recovering from cancer and everything, great. But it's just like, what should we do? Oh, we brought this guy back. We brought him back from he's gone away, worked on his wrestling. Does really good promos, wrestles really well, looks absolutely awesome. Roman needs a match. Let's just bury Drew McIntyre again. And it was like, right, what was the point? I know it's a big match for Drew McIntyre. I know he'll look absolutely awesome, but then Roman Reigns wins again. And it's like, come on, there must be something better to do, kind of thing, than just straight back, top of the card, beating everybody. Look at him, he's even back. He's come back and he's even stronger than before, and all that kind of thing. It just seems, it's disappointing, and I'm just kind of going with my heart with this one. But,
if you take the point on this round, I'll not be happy about the scoring, but I will be happy that it's actually happened. If McIntyre wins, I will not be disappointed.
Well, there's a sort of a thing. So say Roman say Roman had he was still going through his treatment and stuff like that. What do you reckon the idea for McIntyre to do would have been? Because I can't see unless they were going to give him another match against Ambrose.
Well, they've had this whole thing of him destroying the Shield.
Yeah.
Who's to say that he wouldn't have interjected in the match with Rollins?
Yeah, maybe.
Because I don't think anybody would have been disappointed with him winning that match either. If that had
definitely
come
not.
About. Just to throw it in there as well, Gaz, our guest predictor, has also thrown in Roman Reigns. So there is a 4-1 against on that one, Matt. So if you get the point, you'll be a happy man.
Get that with a 50-1 double.
So we've got, following on my list, we have the women's tag team title match.
Ah, yes, the one you wanted to discuss about 85 matches ago.
Yeah, I can't remember why now either, but So we've got the Boss and Hood connection, Sasha and Bayley, versus the Divas of Doom, who will not be referred to as the Divas of Doom because of the word diva, Natalya and Beth Phoenix.
The returning
Beth Phoenix. They missed such an opportunity on Raw this week where Beth Phoenix looked amazing and she absolutely ploughed. There was a 4-on-4 women's tag match. It was 2 of the teams versus 2 of the teams. Beth Phoenix absolutely ploughed everybody. Smashed Tamina through the barrier at ringside. Beth's doing her best to sell it. She's staggering around. And the comment, I think it was Cole, I don't think it was Graves. He said something about her rising from the ashes. I'm thinking, why have you not said a phoenix from the idiot? Ashes, yeah. Own goal, big time. So yeah, Boss and Hood connection, Divas of Doom, Natalya and Beth Phoenix, Nia and Tamina, Facebreaker and Co. And
we don't even need to ask Andy who he's picking, do we?
Everybody's favourite Aussie duo, the Iconics.
I quite like. I was going to say I'm on board with them, but I don't know if I'm that far yet.
Gaz is, for sure. Gareth has predicted the Iconics to win the match.
Interesting. Again, they've only just put the tag titles on those two. I don't see them losing it this.
So you're going Sasha and Bayley?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Andy, are you going for the Facebreaker? Okay. I am going to write Facebreaker in the book.
Facebreakers. If you want to beat the best, if you want to break the rest.
This you may be laughing. I'm fully on board with Andy.
Really?
I'm going Nia and Tamina. And Matt?
I'm going to go Divas of Doom.
Oh, we've got all 4. Someone is definitely getting a point.
Because the Boss and Hood connection is the worst name for a tag team ever.
Absolute shit, innit? I mean, who signed off on that?
It's like, I get that it's a throwback to the Rock and Sock thing, but the Rock and Sock rhymed. It's like they went, Sasha's called the Boss. Oh, crap. Let's just throw a hug in there, because that's what she does.
The Boss and...
This is Paul on the spot trying to think
Nosh. The boss and Nosh.
No. No.
If Bailey was a bad wrestler, it'd be the Boss and Toss connection. But she's not.
Anyway.
Sorry, Matt. Go on.
I said it already sounds like a sexual harassment case.
Hashtag me too.
Bosh and Nosh, but Boss and Hug is bad enough,
Shall we move on, gents?
Yeah.
US title match could have been thrown into some doubt this evening by the fact that apparently my mate Baron Corbin
Do you want me to have a look and see if there's been any updates?
might have injured Rey Mysterio, so this may be a shorter match than anticipated. But the US title match, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio, I would expect Samoa Joe to retain.
So would I. But
The other point on this story is as well that they've been bringing in Rey Mysterio's son. He, way back when, was in the story with Eddie Guerrero when at one point Mysterio and Guerrero had a ladder match for the custody of his child.
Amazing.
Because there was some doubt over the father of the child.
Oh, wow.
So rather than deciding that with actual scientific means, they're like, screw it, let's throw a ladder in there. That actually happened.
Jeez.
Can't beat a bit of wrestling logic, can you?
In all kind of seriousness, Dominic has been trained to be a wrestler by his dad, and
Which one?
well, let's go with Mysterio, seeing as unfortunately Eddie Guerrero passed away some time ago.
Sometimes.
Yeah, go on, Eddie. Anyway, I think they're bringing him in to try and get a bit of experience. I think it's some part of the deal with Mysterio. That's just me, in my opinion. It's not anything that I've seen, but it kind of would make the most sense. I would probably bet my house on the fact that Dominic spent a bit of time in the Performance Centre at some point, and it wouldn't surprise me if somebody else was the father, because he is about 3 times the height of Rey Mysterio. Just to throw that on the end. He is a huge guy, but he's going to be at ringside for the match. So he's got a front row WrestleMania seat, if nothing else.
Sure, nothing will come of that.
Ooh, do we think that might be a...
You hurt my dad.
You hurt my daddy!
I'm jumping the barrier, I'm going to kick the shit out of you.
Dad, I said I swear.
Daddy said to swear!
So, do you think Mysterio will take the title off him then, from the assist?
I mean, it's one of that. I've always been a big Rey Mysterio fan. I've always liked his. I find him quite plucky. So yeah,
cool. All right, and
Ray.
And he's going for the 619. Paul.
I'm still in the process of trying to find out whether Ray's injured.
Matt, what are you reckoning?
Well, yeah, we see messages about Samoa Joe.
Good.
He's only just come back. They've got the title. I'm going to go with him.
Gareth has also gone Samoa Joe, so that's 3-1 at present against Paul.
Yeah, I mean the logical thing again is to keep it on Joe. He's only just got it. Yeah,
Joe. Okay, the next one may pique Andy's interest somewhat, because this will be the return of Demon Balor.
Ooh.
Yes. About damn time. So, Demon Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. I also would like to throw in there that I think this will probably be the opener for the main card.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think they'll use his big entrance as the starting point of actual WrestleMania.
Get the crowd fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the smoke from the stadium.
Yeah.
Early doors.
Put me down for the Demon straight
Going
away.
for Demon.
Yeah.
Well, as has been noted on this podcast before, Demon Balor is undefeated in singles action.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the betting man, I would also bet on Balor.
Yeah.
Samesies.
All going for Balor?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
Gaz has
I got
gone.
very excited when I saw that promo. I was
were you not really excited until the point where he went, nah, at the end of it, which really didn't need that, did it?
What's that?
It pretty much was. It's like, what did he say? He said something like, and everybody knows I've got my demons, and they did the face morph thing, and so the smoke came, and then as it cleared, he went from being regular Finn to demon Finn. Wah! That's the only problem is now when we're all sat watching this on Sunday night, as soon as he comes out and sticks his tongue out, we're going to be in Walkabout Leeds going, what the?
Yo, Durkee, pick up the phone!
And another match straight after. We seem to be rolling through these right now that will pique Andy's interest. Let's talk Brock.
The beast.
Broccoli.
Beast,
Broccoli Rob.
the beast incarnate, Mr. Brock Lesnar, versus the winner of this year's Men's Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Do you suppose there's ever going to be a time where Brock Lesnar's in a match that I'm not going to pick Brock to win?
Not a fucking chance, mate.
Does that also extend to UFC matches?
Potentially.
If that match ever happens. There's been...
yeah, wasn't it scheduled for February?
2015. It's been put back so many times.
Yep.
So I'm going straight in there then. You're definitely going Brock.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brock all the way.
They've had this thing on Raw. It was a promo from Rollins that a couple of weeks ago now that said, whenever you've fought guys my size, you've struggled. And then Rollins then proceeds to say, well, you've done all right against AJ Styles, you've done all right against Daniel Bryan, you've got by them. I'm their size, but I'm better than them.
Ooh, cocky.
Whilst he then followed that up this week with saying that whilst Rollins beating him is improbable, it's not impossible. Heyman's been absolute gold again, as always. His opening promo on Raw this week was great, I thought. Really enjoyed that. My problem with this one is that we're now getting into the realms of this is we're in the last 3 match predictions. Are they going to go for a happy ending all around?
Well, we all love a happy end.
Whilst we would love a happy ending, are they going to do it?
It's not one of those massage parlours, Andrew. We've discussed it.
Oh, what are we talking about?
I'm
Good friends with Robert Kraft.
Jinx!
I'm a bit worried about this one. Gareth has thrown Rollins in there, whilst I definitely want Rollins to take the title and to bring it to actually mean something. I don't think the Universal title has meant anything since the day after it was won.
So, this just smacks so much of last year's WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
If you spoke to anybody before, it was like, well, Roman's been built for a year, if not more, to get to this point. You could so he'd beaten the Undertaker at WrestleMania the year before to basically build the two guys that have beaten the Undertaker at WrestleMania face off against each other, and this will finally be the crowner of Roman Reigns, and then they basically just fucked everything off and just went.
There was that whole thing as well, wasn't there, where they had the WWE 24 documentary about last year's WrestleMania.
And Lesnar comes back through the curtain and just throws the belt at Vince.
To which Vince responds with, "Come back here, you son of a bitch."
Hey, asshole! Or something like that.
Yeah.
Can't stop watching that video either. Because it's only like 8 seconds long.
It's funny, man.
It was, but like that's the sort of stuff that they put out that makes me think, oh, hang on a minute, yeah, he's gone against the grain, yeah, go on, Brock, that's the road, and they think, actually, why have they put that out?
Yeah.
Why would they release that information if it wasn't supposed to happen?
Yeah.
So it makes me a bit dubious. So I'm quite on the fence about this one. I'm gonna hang my hat on Rollins, I think, just because that's the one I want to happen the most.
Like you said, if they don't put it on, so if Lesnar wins it,
in all seriousness, this match that we keep joking about in the UFC, is it going to happen in the next couple of months? Because he's got to go off and do some kind of proper training camp. I know that he's not been turning up every week, so he could have done it whenever he wanted, but he still had to have some sort of presence.
I think as far as the UFC card's concerned, we'd know about it.
I think it is. It's supposed to happen within the next 6 months. I think. But I mean, it's infamous for being like pushed back and changed and stuff like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if it gets postponed again. But yeah, if Lesnar wins, is it now something ridiculous like he's had the belt for nearly 2 full years, apart from the
little
month or so that Reigns had it from SummerSlam until he had to give it up?
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to have to put some stock in that title, otherwise it just becomes absolutely meaningless.
Yeah.
So you'd hope that it starts with Sunday, and they basically push it as the most important championship in the company.
Apart from the fact it's not in the main event.
Apart from that, it's not in the main event, but just how they've been with everything else, I just don't trust them to do it.
On a personal note, I'm happy if the Universal title is never pushed as the top, because to me, it should always be the WWE title.
Yeah.
That match, regardless, would go on last on any pay-per-view, and everybody would generally be happy with that. I understand why the women's title is on last this year. They've had a hell of a year. Fine, that is fine, because the women's title, that can go on last because that is essentially the WWE title for women. That is fine. But the Universal title was somewhat of an afterthought from the very beginning. It was something that probably most fans that, if they like their belts and stuff, would have probably been happier to see the old big gold back, which was the old WCW belt that they used as their own world heavyweight for a while. So I think it's been on a bit of a sort of a struggle ever since its inception. And as we all know with the Hell in the Cell, if you paint it red, it's obviously going to work. So, have we got a prediction in there then, Paul? It feels like it's hard push, to be honest. Are you sitting on the fence as well?
It's just it's so hard to pick. I mean, all logic dictates that Rollins should win it. They've built him. He won the Rumble.
Are you listening to the voices from your right?
Stick me down for Rollins.
Okay. Matt?
It's a very reluctant Rollins there.
I mean, it's just when you. I've kind of like the two and fro that Paul went through there. I've been whilst he was doing it quite vocally. I was going through the same.
You've been flipping a coin in the background.
I was just thinking, kind of smutty innuendo on the way, kind of thing. You can't have too many happy endings in a night.
That is.
Oh my word!
And so I'm going to go Lesnar, because I just don't think that, like, looking at the other matches that to come after, that if depending on which way they're going to go, but I think Lesnar's going to keep hold of it.
So Lesnar to win, and then to set the new record for throwing the title belt the furthest.
Yeah.
What, he's going to throw it out of the stadium?
It'll be one of them RKO videos that then Randy Orton RKO the title. So, moving on then.
He's going to see if he can jam it somewhere.
Hey-o!
Moving on.
There's your happy ending.
Moving on. Kofi Mania. Are we going to get Kofi Mania?
This is another one that I absolutely hate, because...
As in because you had to pick, or you don't like the story?
Any other year, this would be the nailed-on main event of the evening.
Yep.
But because, like you said, the women have had arguably the best matches of the year on the pay-per-views, and Becky Lynch is the most over superstar they've got, they have to put the women on last. And it's absolutely well-deserved, and they absolutely should be in that spot. It's that sort of thing, you don't want to give too many perfect endings. So it would be a case of, if Kofi wins, you'd imagine Kofi would win, you'd have the Lesnar buffer, and then you'd have the women's match.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't imagine that you'd have Rollins wins, Kofi wins, Lynch wins, in a row. Because I don't think they've got that many. I don't think they've got enough cannons filled with fucking confetti to shoot off one after another.
So cannons are shooting off into a happy ending, is that what you're trying
Yeah, basically.
There we go.
I I don't know.
He doesn't know, ladies and gentlemen.
A couple of weeks ago, you'd have probably said, well, so if we'd have done this like sort of before Fastlane, Kofi wasn't. He was probably in the sort of New Day will probably have a match against another either some three guy, like maybe Sanity or something like that, as like a sort of a throwaway match, and it wouldn't have even been given an afterthought. But due to someone's unfortunate, like so Mustafa Ali got injured, Kofi had to backfill that spot, and they've managed to sort of find themselves in a happy situation that's obviously worked out for the best. Are they going to follow through and actually sort of complete on the sort of storyline? It doesn't sound very WWE to me.
I think I'm with you on the first part of what you said, in the sense of it's very much on the running order. Because these matches, as big as these matches are in terms of the story, they're not going to have, to me, the crowd will not be up for three big, the main title matches, one after the other. They will definitely fill these out. It wouldn't surprise me in some ways if either it was kind of there was one of the battle royals doesn't make it on. If it's not on the pre-show, it will be between two of those matches.
Yeah,
just to give people a break, just to chill out, get recharged for it.
Yeah.
Gareth has gone for Daniel Bryan. Again, I'm going to stick with my feeling of please put that title belt on the shop. So Daniel Bryan for me.
So that, I was just thinking about this for the belt. Do you reckon it's a case of they're going to leave that belt in long enough so that when they do bring back the next person who has the title belt, they'll bring back a blue world championship?
Well, the thing I'm starting to wonder is, obviously we'll get to the women's title match. They've now made that winner take all.
Yeah.
So
they're starting to unify.
Essentially
belts
a unification fight. Are they going to do that with the main titles as well? Who knows? It could happen.
See, I'd quite like it if they do a unification of the women's belt. If they start bringing in, like, if they do that to make it more in line with the men's division,
yeah,
they should bring in a secondary women's title.
Yep.
So
the Shintercontinental.
I don't know what to do with that. It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah, but there should, in theory, there really should be a secondary women's title to go alongside the main women's title.
Yeah, and I like the fact of what they do with the women's tag titles is that they let the champions run
defend
from
shows.
Show to show,
yeah.
including NXT. Mm-hmm. Then if they do that with the women's title also, I'd be more than happy with that. And then if the men's ends up following suit, even better.
Well, that's what they did when they first had the undisputed champion, was that he was not brand exclusive when they first did the brand split. So it would make sense. Plus, it's not as diluted.
Yeah.
If you've got two world champions, because then it's a case of who's the best, blah blah blah, who's the true man.
And if they will insist on having multi-man matches for the title, if you've got 2 shows worth of people vying for it. It's a ready-made triple threat match every single time if you really want it.
True.
So where are you going? What did you say?
Just because I'd like to see it, I'll go for Kofi.
Okay. Andy, what you got?
I'm going Kofi because I think they've put a lot into that.
To be honest,
recently
they have hit that storyline hard.
Poured.
Totally forgot about the caveat that I keep saying caveat, but we've discussed it before. So the week prior to this one, the New Day had to win a gauntlet match to get Kofi into the main event, and after they won that match, there's a still shot of Big E sort of looking at Kofi, and
giving him the eyes,
sort of like giving him those eyes. And I've been saying it for years. That guy is a monster heel in waiting.
You've been saying that literally for years.
He could literally just run through everybody. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
He has good promos, and he can go.
Pretty sure he trains with C.T. Fletcher.
Wouldn't surprise me. So I either think, I don't know if I want to change my mind now. So I said to you, potentially, if he costs Kofi the match, you've arguably got the new top heel in the company. Or you could have Kofi win the match, then he destroys him after the match, and then you've got basically the top title picture for the next 2, 3, 4 months.
Jumping ahead, there is an argument to be made for whoever wins that match, that who's to say that Big E won't be this year's Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Because that will throw a spanner in the works for New Day, whether Kofi is or isn't the champion.
Mm-hmm, true.
So there's also that as well. Matt, who have you got?
I'm going with going with Lesnar in the last one. I'm going to go Kofi in this one.
Okay.
I think they're going to give the payoff on that one with the kind of, it is like a real kind of, it's the really giving the fans what they want kind of thing. With that one, because obviously I know that the Becky Lynch thing's been a massive kind of fan favourite thing, but like the Kofi one, just like it's really kind of pushed by the fans and stuff like that. So I think maybe this time they'll go with that being the payoff there.
Okay, that's cool. So after all these predictions, it's come down to the main event.
Well, we've only been doing this for about 5 minutes, haven't we? So,
main event time then. As we've mentioned, this one is for all the marbles in the women's division.
neither of the women to win. Vince McMahon to come out and just basically swing his dick around for about 10 minutes and just say, I'm the best, I'm the champion.
So I saw a video today, maybe. And obviously, as I've previously mentioned, I get all of my information from YouTube, but that doesn't tell me how in date it is. So I'm pretty sure the video was some of the women getting arrested.
Oh yeah,
that was
this week.
Let's
get into that. That was hilarious.
Ronda Rousey in the back of a police car.
Yeah.
Gets kneed in the head.
Yeah.
And it was like they show it multiple times.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah.
oh!
So, best thing about that, slightly before that happened, she kicked the window out of that particular car when she was in the back, because obviously she had her hands handcuffed behind her back. Well, in fact, all three of them did. She managed to drive a car whilst handcuffed at some point.
You're still not at the best bit yet.
Go on.
Oh, yeah!
Becky Lynch running around going, kiss my feet, you weirdo.
Oh, God, she's great for a soundbite, to be fair, Becky.
They're going, like, I know that they've tried to sort of not push the Stone Cold thing on her too much. If this had have not been the PG era and she'd have been allowed to run with stuff, she would be the female Stone Cold, giving it the same vocab. Because she can't say things like Stone Cold used to say. So she comes out with gems like Matt's just dropped, and rather than telling people how she really feels, she calls them a dope quite a lot, which I think is a very 1996 playground insult. You big dope. Pair of dopes has been...
It's like the North East equipment, just like people calling each other, oh, you fucking Doyle.
Doyle, yeah.
You fucking Doyle.
It's when she starts saying dope too much and then RVD makes a comeback.
Did someone say 420? It's 420 somewhere.
But that whole part of Raw, the video that you've seen, if you'd have just have muted the sound and put the Benny Hill music on as a side...
Somebody had said that! Somebody had said, I don't know if there was a comment or something that said exactly that. Mute this and just put the Benny Hill music
But the
on.
thing is that if you did mute it, you don't get the huge pop that happened when Charlotte knees Ronda in the head. Because
she cut her mouth as well. Did you
yeah, well, I thought there was a couple of cuts going, because I thought that when they were getting arrested at ringside, I thought Charlotte came down was a bit stiff with a kick to Becky's face. Oh no! So I thought she caught proper in the chin and stuff like that, and it was like, fucking hell, that's a bit close.
The best kick of the whole thing was Charlotte on the security guard.
Oh my God! That guy went down.
Awesome.
I think I've got someone retweeted it on Twitter. I'll see if I can find it for you.
It was a hell of a shot. But yeah, they actually went so far as to release the list of charges that would have been brought against the women, and apparently will appear in court at a later date.
I'm sure.
I'm going to put this on record now that later date will never happen. This will be one of those things that they gloss over and never gets heard from again.
So go, oh, by the way, the charges, oh yeah, they were dropped. Oh right, that's funny that, yeah.
It'll just, Matt, that's giving them too much credit. It'll just not even get mentioned to that extent. So, but yeah, it was quite an enjoyable segment. They built it well. The only bit I didn't enjoy was you're supposed to suspend your disbelief when you're watching films and the wrestling and everything else. If it's ever in any kind of training for the coppers other than police academy, why would you put two people that are fighting each other in the back of the same car?
The funniest thing about that was the fact that they put them in and they basically just stopped, and then everyone obviously focused in on the back of it, and all the crowd went, oh, and then they just basically started kicking at each other. It's like two children being put in like a room together.
I also quite enjoyed them when they were like, oh crap, they're fighting, right, pull one of them out, and then they opened the door on the back of the other police car that already had Charlotte Flair in, because obviously the problem of putting two of them in the back of one car was then going to be solved by putting two of them in the back of another car.
Oh, he gets fucking nailed.
So this is the video of Charlotte nailing the security guard with a massive boot to the face. Have you seen this, Matt?
No, you'll have to send it through to me.
Look it up, because it is well worth it.
I've just been watching Kiss My Feet, You Weirdo, and just all day.
Is that affecting that?
Oh, it might be.
You got a bit fuzzy. So let's get down to the meat of it.
The rotty bit.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. Are we going to get the man as a double champ?
I mean, if this is not the most easy to pick match of the night, they might as well just basically never do a WrestleMania ever again.
So you're picking Ronda Rousey, yeah?
Yeah, obviously. Seriously, if Becky doesn't win, then they haven't... Literally, Vince does not give two flying fucks about anything.
Do we not already know this?
Yes, I know, but even he can't be that stupid that he knows. But even he's not that stupid that he knows he has to do. They have to.
Let's get this clipped up and send it to Vince McMahon on Twitter.
I'll definitely be getting it clipped up for when we come back for our review of this.
I mean, surely that has to be the enduring image of the whole pay-per-view.
But does it? If Kofi wins?
I mean,
Becky stood, middle of the ring, confetti all around her, two belts, her lovely, soft face.
And her very... Oh, I know what this is. This is ginger sticking together, right? You're welcome. So...
Potato!
So... We'll have no casual racism in this video. So Paul is very
There's
clearly...
nothing casual about racism.
Very clearly Camp Becky.
Ooh, hello!
The man.
Ooh.
Matt, where are you going with this? Do you think it'll go to suit, or do you think there's going to be a swerve?
I think there could be a swerve. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, put both the belts on Rousey.
This is Brock from last year all over again. She's leaving after WrestleMania. She's definitely going. Yeah, she's definitely going. And then
the biggest nephew, though, isn't it? She stood in the middle of the ring with the McMahons. After all the kind of, oh no, she doesn't like, she's not part of us, she's not part of us. Then she stood in the middle of the ring with Stephanie, Vince, and it's just, they might as well just stand there with the middle fingers at everybody,
Yep.
and it would just be, is that not isn't even a better end than if Becky wins both the titles?
If that, I don't disagree with you on that, but I also then can't help but think about the videos that Ronda Rousey on the Road has been putting out on her YouTube channel, and there was the whole thing where she absolutely blew a gasket about it's not real. It doesn't matter. It's not real. Just doesn't matter. It's not real. And that screenshot was the one that spawned another 1,000 memes, which was fantastic. I get what you're saying with that, though, Matt. I don't think that would be a bad idea.
I am going to say Becky Lynch because it all roads lead to that, but there's just a little bit of me kind of thinks, maybe they're just going to do something with this, and just.
I think if they're gonna go with a heel win, I can genuinely see Charlotte Flair walking out with it. Vince's golden child after the way that the story's been built. It's good that there is a little bit of doubt in there. Everybody wants Becky to win. Everybody wants Becky to win, but whether she will or not is.
I think that's perhaps what they've done with putting the two titles there. People have gone, there's no way they're going to put both titles on it. They're going to do something. Just going to fuck with us one last time.
Well, I guess we will find out on Sunday. But you're going Becky, yeah?
Yeah. After all that.
Andy?
I mean, I don't always like to fall in line, and I do like to go against the grain at times and stuff.
You pick Shane McMahon. We're not going to argue with that.
Shane McMahon.
Oh my god. Ultimate heel turn. After what she said on Monday, Stephanie McMahon just comes swaggering down.
Oh, that was awesome, that. Enjoyed that. April Fool's joke, because it was April Fool's Day.
The main event of WrestleMania is now a fatal 4-way match with the 3 people who are in it and me.
April Fools. It was quite good. Anyway, we cut him off.
Yeah.
Put me down for Ronda.
Oh, here we go. Look at this guy. Clean sweep.
He likes a kill. That's all it is.
And I can't stand her.
Really?
We've had this conversation
We have
before. I
spoken, yeah.
can't stand her.
Interesting.
Just everything about her does my fucking trade.
I will back you up on this. I entirely agree. Within the last couple of weeks, we took the boys to local Smith's Toys, and one of the new, obviously because I'm a man-child, we had to look down the WWE toy aisle.
I'm a man.
Why would you not? So there's a family stood there, guy about similar age to me, also looking at the figures with his kids, and we both looked at each other,
Our eyes locked across the room.
looked at the Ronda Rousey figure and went, "Yep, that's exactly right," because that's the only facial expression she's ever had. It's like the kind of angry kind of forcing out a fart face.
Bulldog chewing a wasp.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't nearly come home with a Brock Lesnar
Brawling buddy.
this big from Sainsbury's the other day. I was like, no. But then I could put it up. I could have had him sat in between you two for the
We're joined by our special guest, Brock. Brock, would you like to say anything?
I hate people.
Surely you press it and a tiny Paul Heyman turns up to talk for it, surely.
My client.
I kind of want to pick Charlotte just to be different to you guys.
Come on, Stu.
Because I can sort of see it.
Come on.
I can sort of see it happening. But
You're not a stupid man.
I've gone. I'll take that as a compliment, Paul. I think it's
You're
the
not a-
nicest
you're
thing
not-
you've ever said.
You're not a stupid man.
I think-
You know how it's going to end.
I've got Rollins to win the Universal. I've got Daniel Bryan to retain the WWE. I think they will go 2 out of 3. So by that logic, it's Becky. Clean sweep across the board. Gaz also chipped in with Becky.
Well, he's picked Ronda.
Oh, apologies. Sorry, that was me thinking nobody would pick.
Bloody hell.
So are you, because I didn't pick, because I said I might pick Charlotte, you said I'm not stupid. What do you say to him?
Yeah, but he doesn't count.
That's very...
He gets his stuff from IGM or whatever it is.
Just if anybody wants to watch Getting Over Uncut, it will feature Paul getting filled in at the end of the podcast. We have every single prediction for the following weekend in the books, gentlemen. It remains to be seen what will happen. We will score these up. Like I said, not on the night, it will definitely happen afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And,
So if you're in Leeds, your WWE network will be going unused then, yeah?
It's already on there. Get it on.
While I'm sat up all night.
Well, I was going to say, you can use the new arrival to your advantage. Oh my God, get her educated.
I was showing her how to code a podcast earlier.
Gosh,
She was like, "This is not entertaining."
Daddy, not for me, Daddy.
So what have we got? Is that everything? Do you want to do some stats?
Well, I was going to potentially throw out a never going to happen in a million years, but could potentially be happening. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin's not been knocking out any podcasts recently. He went on a hiatus break thing.
Americans just can't stay a holiday, can they?
Is it because he's taking a little bit of time to get himself in ring shape to come back
No.
for one last match
No.
against Kevin Owens?
Whilst that
You're here first.
Whilst that would be awesome, it'll be, if it did happen, it'd be a run-in. It'd be like the whole Rock and Wyatt family thing from a few years ago.
Well, there's bear in mind that there's still some people that are fairly high profile who are involved in matches. Kevin Owens being the main one, I'd say.
Yep.
He will be involved in some form or fashion at the show.
Will he win the Battle Royal? Too late.
I don't think he'll be in the
You've
Battle
made your
Royal.
prediction.
It's just a case of what we'll end up doing. Something will happen with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, we've not even discussed the host.
She's the
of WrestleMania.
host of WrestleMania. Something will happen with her, but what? I have no idea.
It's still kind of a bit shady as to whether she's cleared to wrestle or not, because the only match that she's had was the Rumble, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be an interesting one. She's obviously taken a lot of credit storyline-wise for a lot of the matches being put together, and she was the one that actually announced the SmackDown Tag Title match this week. Matt?
The New Day hosted WrestleMania last year or the year before, and they did nothing.
33, wasn't it? Because everyone thought they were going to interject in the tag title match, and then they introduced the Hardys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess she could just be there to
Yeah,
steer it
I
up.
just think it's to me it just seems silly to have her there and not have her do something. Oh, there's obviously we discussed the fact that Elias is there as the musical act, but that's obviously going to go tits up. Yeah, in some form or fashion.
He's headlining WrestleMania musical act,
but it'll be a case of what actually happens with that.
I don't know if they're just going to do something, because one thing we didn't mention as well was that Joan Jett has been announced to play Ronda into the ring.
I didn't even know that.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But are they going to do something where she basically tells Elias to do one? They could just make it as simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember if anything else has been musical-wise has been announced.
The America the Beautiful was announced, but I can't remember the name of the woman who was going to do it.
It was somebody I'd not heard of.
Yeah, I've not heard of her either.
So, I don't know. Are they going to do that? That must be weird for the live crowd when they do the 2 hours of pre-show, then sing the song.
Yeah. Strange.
Especially in an NFL stadium.
Mm.
You'd think that would always be at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, I did compile a few statistics.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to step on any toes if there are some questions coming our way. Plus, it means I've also got a few of the answers if that happens.
I've got a quiz.
Ooh.
This quiz I'm looking at here is only 10 questions.
That's all right.
I have other quizzes as well. They don't seem to be as user friendly. We could do these 10 questions and see how we feel. Do we have a feeling of how long this is?
It's over the 2 hour mark.
Right, let's do 10 questions then.
Yeah, 10 questions is good. Matt, have you got something to write these down with?
No.
No.
Is it one that, are you playing along at the same time?
I am playing along at the same time.
Are we doing answers as we go along then? Because then
It's up to you.
we'll
I don't know whether it'll give me the answer. I might have to. In fact, yeah, I haven't tested this theory. I've just loaded it up.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's do it.
Question number 1.
Question number 1.
WrestleMania 35 will be the first time a women's match is the main event. Which of the following superstars is not in the main event match?
Okay. we should be alright with this one, boys.
What do you reckon?
Please.
Is it
If it says Asuka, that is a proper kick in the balls, but not obviously.
Ronda Rousey? Is it Charlotte Flair? Sasha Banks? Or Becky Lynch? Right, so I'm going to choose my option.
Is it Steve Blackman?
Okay, so that just told me I was right, and it's gone on to the next question.
So Matt, we're obviously all going Sasha, right?
No.
It's alright, I've got my notes thing on my iPad.
Oh, good man.
Ronda Rousey.
Was not in the main event, right?
Not in the main event.
Right, cool.
Question number 2. The Undertaker has the most victories in WrestleMania history. But which WWE superstar has the most losses?
Oh, for
I know this
fuck's
one.
sake.
Is it Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kurt Angle, or Ric Flair?
Woo!
Damn it! I got it wrong.
Matt,
You good?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
are we not scoring them as we go along?
No, because are we doing it as we go along?
It's just moved on.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you what the answers were.
Can you do it at the end, or will it let you
I don't
do it?
know. We can find out. Otherwise, we'll just be stuck with me knowing how well I did on a quiz.
Shall we just do it as we go along then? So the first one was Sasha, right?
It was.
I already
Excellent.
ticked it, so.
And the second one was Triple H.
That's what I've gone with as well.
I've also gone Triple H.
I didn't.
Did you go Ric Flair?
I did.
Of course you did.
Woo. Question number 3. WrestleMania 2 took place in 3 different cities. Which of the following was not one of the cities? Uniondale, New York. Rosemont, Illinois. Los Angeles, California. St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, fuck you.
I'm not as confident with this one. This is well before my time.
Lads, Matthew?
I've gone with St. Louis.
Good, that's me. I've gone
I
with
have
that as
also
well.
gone St. Louis, Missouri.
I didn't and should have done because it was the right answer.
Excellent.
Number 4. Which 2 WWE superstars have the unique distinction of having the opening and closing match at a single WrestleMania?
Which 2?
Was it Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart and Daniel Bryan, Randy Savage and Daniel Bryan, Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan?
I've gone Daniel Bryan, Bret Hart.
Yeah, me too.
I've also gone that.
So did I.
After we'd said it. Yeah, I thought so.
Are we good?
Yeah, it was that one.
Excellent.
Question number 5. Hulk Hogan has main evented WrestleMania the most, but which WWE superstar has main evented the Showcase of the Immortals the second most? Was it Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Roman Reigns, Triple H?
That's a tough one. Matt's having trouble picking.
Yeah, I've written something. I'm not happy.
I'm not happy with mine either. I think they're all very
I'm
tight.
fairly happy with mine.
I'm very happy with mine.
I went Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I believe it's Triple H with about 7.
I went Triple H as well.
And so did I. For the correct answer. Question
Your
number
boy!
6.
Your boy!
I know. But
Your boy!
I didn't think he'd put himself... Oh, wait a minute.
Oh! The triple threat match at WrestleMania 32 between Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks is currently the longest women's WrestleMania match in history. How long was it?
Oh dear.
Was it 15 minutes 33 seconds, 14 minutes 17 seconds, 17 minutes 26 seconds, or 16 minutes 3 seconds?
Pot shot. 16 minutes, 3 seconds.
I've gone for that as well.
Matt,
Which one? 16 minutes, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
we all went for
That's
that,
what I went with, yeah.
and we all got it right.
Yeah!
Nice.
Question 7. True or false
True.
is the right answer.
Yay!
Besides Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, pretty sure it should be the barber, versus
Hall of Famer.
This year's Hall of Famer.
He
the
actually
British Bulldogs at WrestleMania 2, a tag team championship match has never been the main event at WrestleMania. True or false?
Give us that again.
Besides Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake versus the British Bulldogs at WrestleMania 2, a tag team championship match has never been the main event at WrestleMania.
This is where I either get found out because I'm confident it's one. I'm going to say that that's true because the main event of
Me too.
WrestleMania 1 was a tag match, but it wasn't for the titles.
Yeah. True.
True is the correct answer.
Woo. Told you. Right,
Question 8. Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus at WrestleMania 28 is one of the most infamous WrestleMania matches in recent memory.
Have you written something down?
How long was the match?
Yeah, you're right.
Was it 17, 18, 19 or 20 seconds?
You got one, Matt?
No.
Whoa!
17.
18.
18 is the right answer.
You've got to remember that he got to play a bit of kiss face with AJ before that started, so it extended the length of the match.
Question number 9. The classic TLC 2 match between Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys took place at which WrestleMania? Was it? Now then, they've done the numbers for this. Weird. I'm going to go WrestleMania 15, WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 17, or WrestleMania 18.
Okay.
You put your answer in. Matt?
18.
I've gone 17.
The correct answer is WrestleMania X7.
It is X7.
17.
And your 10th and final
Have
question.
you got all of these so far?
Maybe.
Jim Ross first appeared as a commentator at which WrestleMania? Was it 9, 10, 11, or 12?
You got one, Matt?
Yeah.
Paul?
11.
Ooh!
You are.
WrestleMania 9.
It was the toga-wearing Jim Ross at Caesar's Palace. Please tell me you've not got a picture.
I've got this picture. I'm too sweet.
Ooh!
So I got 6 out of 10.
Fancy. That's 6 out of 10.
Your WrestleMania knowledge needs a little work ski, but you're still a good brother.
Nerd.
So, out of a possible 10, I'm sure Paul will have got full marks. Stu?
My boy Triple H let me down, so I got 9.
Damn it, I was going to look for a tiebreaker. Matt?
I got 7. It went a bit tits up at the end.
Do you know what? Puts us in good stead for the quiz on Sunday.
It does. This is good practice, but that there is a WrestleMania-based or wrestling-based pub quiz
Is there?
before the festivities on Sunday evening.
Shall we Skype you when it's going on?
Please do.
Right.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you
Well,
very much.
there we go. Thank you.
I think we should let you wrap it up. You provide all the prep.
Well, just thank you very much for listening. Again, big shout out to Gaz. Thank you for the feedback. If anyone wants to let us know how they think we're doing, drop us a line, Twitter, email, thecookiecast.com.
James Panos said that if he had to do the amount of prep that you do, he wouldn't bother. Last night on the podcast, he was like, yeah, if I had to do the amount of prep that Stu does, I just wouldn't do it.
That doesn't tell me that I am more organised. That tells me that he's just slack. So
He's just a lazy bastard.
yeah, but you don't like a present company accepted, Matthew. When you're a Forest fan, like what prep is there to do?
Ooh, wow.
What in terms of what trophies that we've won, or the kind of
It's going to very quickly turn into the Liverpool-based podcast of living in the past if you're not careful.
Ooh! Shots fired again.
It's all right. You can give us a slap on Sunday. I shall
I don't think he'll be giving you a slap. I think he'll be giving you a couple of plates of chops.
I was going to say, it's surely chops, isn't it?
Anyway.
With woos intermittently interspersed between. Woo!
Well, on that note, ladies
And on that
gents,
note,
I suppose all that's left to say is enjoy WrestleMania.
yeah,
yeah, I mean, this is what the year works towards.
all roads
Exactly.
all roads did lead to WrestleMania, as we hammered
This
home in
is
the very
the
first.
Correct.
End of the road.
As always, a big thank you to Mr. Moore for joining us via the medium of Bose-based speakers.
Yes, thank you, Matt, for taking the time out.
kiss my feet, you weirdos.
And he's out of here.
Right, thanks.
We'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, see you Sunday, Matt.
Right.
See you later on. Bye.
And thanks everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So there you go then. What do you think to that? The Getting Over podcast, done and dusted. The winners of the Fastlane predictions are decided, and let's find out who's going to win the WrestleMania predictions. Should maybe get a few quid on those predictions, see what that does for the old bank balance. Everybody watching on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube, and maybe drop us a comment, see how that's going to work out for you. Everybody should jump over to the Cookiecast.com, check out our social media feed, check out our email facility, send us a little email while you're there. So, yep, that's that one. So, yep, catch us next time on the next time there's a pay-per-view so that we can decide how the predictions went for the WrestleMania and then predict the next one. Until next time, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you then. Bye.